Alright, hello. Ah! Shoot. Do I not? No, wait. I do. I just have to do this and... Hang on. No, why am I always messing things up? I know we had this before. Oi, how did we do this? I know we had this set up. It should be... It's not... I know we had this. Where is it? Dang it! Hang on. Where? I know I had this up, but I don't know where it is now. I'm so... Classic side channel stuff. I know I had this. Where did it go? Wait, why is it not here? There you are. Why was it not there before? I don't know. It's literally, it's listed right here. I don't know why it wasn't here before. Alright, is it not picking up everyone? Why? Why is it only showing a tiny bit? I don't have the... Hey, that's not right. It should be showing more than that many messages, I feel, but I guess I don't have this one set up correctly. I know, you guys are cut in half and I don't know why, because it shouldn't be that way. Hang on. What if I change the height? Does that make a difference? That did not make any difference at all. Ah! Alright. And I'm gonna mess with it on the other sides, I guess. But hello, Siam0, hello, MG, hello, Stalkler, hello, Johnny Virgil, hello, KLMX, hello, Newbie Reaper, hello, Janu, hello, THLPH. Oh my gosh, hello, guys, hello, Weston Fox. Welcome in, I hope you guys are doing well. Despite the side channel scuff, I hope you're still doing well. Oh, goodness. I'll be waiting patiently for a proper Monday stream one day, maybe. It's really hard to get everything to, like, behave the same way, you know? It's really hard to get everything to... It's so hard because, I don't think that streaming channels really want you to have two channels. It kind of wants to mess everything up constantly. Like... Cut in half, it's merely a flesh wound. You need to figure out how to use templates? What kind of templates? What templates do you mean? What templates are we referring to in this instance? Because templates can mean a lot of things. Are we talking about text templates? Are we talking about something for the stream? Are we... What type of templates are we referring to here? There's many different types of templates. I'm not... There's... Yeah, that could be anything. Unless you mean, like, stream schedule? What do you mean? You can save templates and instas in OBS and export and import the settings. That is true. That is true. That is a thing. I'm honestly really confused why the chat's so cut off, because it's set to only be a cropping thing, so I don't know why it's any different today. I feel like we've had this in a better instance previously. Also, hello, welcome in. What is wrong with the template of the stream schedule? The stream schedule is on a template. What's wrong with it? Is there something wrong with it? We fixed the 111 hours. That works too, right? It's indeed Monday, 11 p.m., but it's not 13. Oh, I forgot to change the dates. Didn't I? I forgot to change the dates, didn't I? You know what? Okay, after stream, I'll redo the entire schedule, because I have to redo it for Thursday anyway, because Thursday clearly got very, very changed and messed up. Are you kidding me? Okay, can we not have everything explode and go wrong? Jeez, why? Oh my gosh. Okay, are we okay? Oh my gosh. The chat box looks sized to go under the usual capture window. It does! I don't know where the other one went, because we've had the other one. I'll be waiting a long time for working Monday stream. Why? Why is everything like this? Is it because I'm trying to discuss, like, Stargazer things specifically? Is that why everything has to go wrong? Like... Rewind noises? I don't understand. Why? Why must they be tortured in this way? Anyway, how's everybody else doing? I hope everybody's having a good day. Oh my gosh. Alright. Brought the chat switch in mobile mode. Doc don't work? What? Oh my gosh. Just evoking its existence bring chaos to the world. Gosh. Also, hello, Abyss. Welcome in, welcome in. Alright, hang on a sec. Let's try to go to our, regular setup here. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Hang on. Alright. Are we good? Are we good? There we go! Oh no, does it have the... Does it have the larger code, or... I can't figure this out. Anyway. Oh my gosh. Stargazer discussion. Alright. Snaps fingers. Chaos upon stream. Anyway. I wanted to sort of like go over Stargazer design things because I know I've been chit-chatting a lot about it on and off, but I haven't actually like, there's obviously a lot of new people and I haven't actually had the chance to like break down the actual like design and concept and theory and everything. So I figured that I would sort of explain that and then we could talk about it and then sort of get your input on things because you guys also can have a little bit of some input into the direction that things go because things have changed a lot lately. Things have changed a lot. So I thought that it would be nice to sort of give like a little early initial breakdown and then some examples and then you guys could like ask questions or discuss things and stuff like that. Because I really like the Stargazers as a species. I mean, I like you guys as well, but like, I want to keep developing the idea of Stargazers and sort of give you guys a visual to go off of, instead of just vague Discord general chat. So, I thought that would be nice. But yeah, essentially, like, Stargazers, aside from the chaos, are meant to sort of be like these beings of wishes and magic and fulfillment and destiny and everything. And they're sort of a mix of like light and creativity and everything like that. And they are all sort of represented as these bunny-like creatures that you guys know of, right? So the bunny-like creatures are kind of based on Carbuncle, so if you know Final Fantasy, you have a bit of that idea in your head. Have you ever heard that word before? Please do not look it up on Google without at least writing Final Fantasy or mythical creature or, like, Pokemon or something tied to that, because it unfortunately shares weird terms. But yeah, a Carbuncle is basically, like, a creature with a gemstone on its forehead, and it is said to be associated with wishes and everything. So Stargazers are essentially like Carbuncle-like bunnies, right? And then the thing that visually separates Stargazers is that a lot of their visual differences are represented with these little tassels below their ears. So some stargazers can have, like, larger bunny ears, some can have smaller ears, the ears can all be different shapes and things, but then the tassels are sort of where all the detail ends up. And I originally, because they are bunny-based, I originally was saying no paw pads, but at this point, I feel like it probably just makes sense if they have, like an Eevee paw pad, like Eevee from Pokemon. So Eevee kind of has, like, just a singular paw pad, just so that there's, like, some sort of difference there. Got a new profile in a few seconds? That's scary to hear. But yeah, so the crystals can sort of be like, they can be like a smooth, tumbled looking crystal, they can be like a sharp, faceted crystal. Use my tassels as a scarf. Newbie does use his tassels as a scarf, yeah. Newbie, do you mind if I pull up your design since you're here right now? Do you mind if I sort of use you as an example, if that's alright? Because I think I have your image here from one of the Irium events. If that's okay with you. So there's like a lot of variety and openness in things, but I also wanted to sort of get your input because I know that people have had different questions about what is and isn't allowed. I know people have been asking about like horns and things, and I kind of want to be able to have, like, I wanted to be able to give, words. I'm not good with the words today. I wanted to be able to ask your guys' input and see what we can come up with that is sort of like, still keeps the Stargazer species cohesive, but allows you guys enough freedom to work with, you know? So Stargazers are sort of like a magical creature. So that means that they're not really made of metal, or they're not robotic, they're not like, they're not, you can't have like violence of them, you can't have like chopped limbs or anything terrifying, right? They're sort of like these beings of light. Go for it? Alright. Let's see here. Trying to remember where it's probably in the Irium folder, right? Where is Irium? Sketch party. And there we go. So, Newbie Reaper's Stargazer is actually very similar to Newbie Reaper anyway, because Newbie Reaper is a rabbit. But Newbie Reaper's Stargazer form, I love this design so much. If you're wondering, like, oh, where are the tassels are wrapped around his neck like a scarf, and it creates this really, really cool silhouette, really cool design. So he's got, like, his regular bunny ears, and then he's got his skull part, but he still has the gemstone here, right? He's still got the Stargazer gemstone, and then the tassels are this cool scarf design, and then his tail is fire. So it's actually very, very similar to his existing design. He didn't have to branch out too much for it, because bunny to bunny, right? Can tassels have accessories attached to them? Yeah. Yeah, I think so for sure. How much violence is too much? I remember mine having a partially clipped ear. Yeah, that's okay. That's alright. I just, I don't want, like, I know some people have, like, gore aesthetic, right? They'll do, like, what do they call it? Like, the gummy gore or whatever. That would not work. I kind of doubt that anyone would do that, but I'm just sort of throwing it out there. Yeah, chipped ear for, like, battle damage, that's all good. That's all good. I know that, some people mentioned wanting to do, like, the scar over the nose, that's all good. It's just, yeah, I don't want people to go too crazy on the crazy levels of, I don't know where people's minds are gonna go, but I'm just trying to do my best to prevent craziness. So yeah, I really like Newbie's design. The thing is, like, I think that masks are okay as long as you can see the gemstone and most of the face, right? Most of the face. So I don't actually think that Newbie's is a mask. I think that Newbie's is just sort of, I think he just has like a skull head. But you can still see the majority of the face, and it's actually, because it's not a mask, it's actually probably his whole face. And then, trying to remember what I have here. Done. Oh dear. I'm scared. I'm scared what you planned here. And then, let me try to think here. You can never predict the minds of people. Exactly, you really can't. So, let me see. Where is the Yeah. So, when I was first joining Irium, I had, like, Misako and Charles, hello, hello, welcome in. Made it like a Cubone mask to fit the lore better. Okay, alright. That's all good then. So Newbie does have a bunny face under there. Gotcha. Stargazer review? This might be good inspiration for Catchgazer V2. Yeah, so I'm sort of going over, like, the idea of what a Stargazer is, and sort of, like, what I expect, because I want to keep everything very cohesive, because I really love the Stargazer species as a whole. I want to give people enough room for experimentation, but also sort of keeping things consistent. So basically what I already went over, real quick, I'll just go back here real fast. Stargazers are basically beings of, like, light and crystal. And they're sort of like, they are made from the wishes of magic and determination and goals, and they kind of have this, like, intensity of wanting to be their most creative and best selves, right? So that form is more ethereal, it's more like spirit-like, right? So I was explaining, like, Stargazers aren't man-made. They're not metal. They're not like gory or gruesome. They're not they're sort of like this ethereal being that has visual representation, right? You can kind of think of it as like a magical girl mascot, I suppose, because, you know, magical girl mascots usually don't have much of a physical form either, to be honest. Meanwhile, made 0 attempts to fit in the lore and just made a mecha bunny. Yeah, I don't really think there's any mecha Stargazers, to be honest. There could be, like, accessories, but the Stargazer itself is not metal, if that makes sense. So you want to have, like, you know, full plates of armor, as long as you've, like, the base Stargazer design underneath, that's fine, and ideally, I'd like to try not covering, a Stargazer's entire face, if possible. Just because I still want to have some sort of consistency with the design, right? Because I really like the concept of Stargazers, and I really want to develop them into something that is fair, as fair as I can get while still keeping cohesion, right? I'm not really personally a fan of the VTuber designs where it's like every single person looks like the VTuber chat designs where like every single chat member looks the exact same. I want to give people a little bit of flexibility and ability to show their creative side, right? And then still keep it within the realm of the species. Might not be as horrible as Cube, but we do cause our sign magical girl to lose their mind. Oh my gosh, incredible. Stargazers in lore are similar to manifestation of a wish or desire. Yeah, kind of. They're more like, they're sort of like the visual of a wish. So, yeah, like in lore basically, like their focus in life, it's kind of like, this always feels silly to say, right? Their focus in life is kind of similar to like a My Little Pony type of concept with the cutie mark, sort of like determining their fate and destiny and all that. Except it's not just like a picture on their side. It's like more so integrated into the whole design. I hope that, I don't know, maybe that makes sense. I'm not really sure if that makes sense. But it's sort of like, you know, still trying to fulfill your best self and expressing yourself as best as possible. A Baki Stargazer? Wait, like the, do you mean like the, the fighter? What Star is trying to say, not made of aluminum and no breeding. Yeah, basically. Basically, a good way to wrap it up, I think. Also, hello Simon, welcome in. What if fulfilling my best self involves a minigun? No, I don't think minigun would be very fitting. Yes, the anime. Okay, fair enough. I do have something here where it says that, like, Stargazers can sort of have, like, their one special, item. That it was kind of a way to sort of, like, make the accessory, make sense in the concept of who each individual is. So, like, you know, a stargazer very focused on art might have a sketchbook, or, you know, they might have, like, some sort of special accessory that means something to them, or some sort of, flower, or some sort of, like... I think weapons are okay to a specific degree. You know, I think, like, a magical sword makes sense for a stargazer, but a machine gun I don't really think fits. I mean, I'm a robot, but my stargazer form isn't. Incorporating design elements for my VTuber self into the design, though. Yeah, exactly. Vesta, can I brought up newbies earlier. Can I grab yours as an example as well? Wait, if I have it. I think I have your mood board instead. Got my helmet, I'm happy. Okay. Magical minigun? Nah, I don't think so. Headphones on mine work for that? Yeah, exactly. Actually, Charles, that's a really good example. The headphones sort of being like that main accessory that connects to who they are. I think that's a really good example. DM it to you in a moment? Alright, sounds good. Also, welcome in, Vessa. Hello, hello. It's Originium Bullets Trust. Jeez. Can stargazers do things what a normal human could do? Drive cars badly? Cook, play instruments, and something similar. I guess as much as you could, like, see an anthropomorphic rabbit doing, right? Because, like, one of the benefits of the rabbit design is a rabbit is one of the very few animals that can be depicted as, like, bipedal or quadrupedal. So, 2 legs and 4 legs. So anything that has, like, a Peter Rabbit type of instance, here, I'll show you an example real quick. This is what I was trying to pull up before, right? So we've got this picture that I know Vessa really likes. And we have, like, you know, some stargazers who are trying to learn magic, like this one who's trying to practice working with fire. We've got these stargazers that are sort of out on an adventure and want to go exploring the forest or the mountains. So they can, you know, they can have, like, the quadrupedal backpack here. And then we've got, like, Prism, who can stand on her 2 legs here. And then sort of this, like, that goes a little bit further with this, compass item. But essentially, Prism is the main stargazer that relays all the other stargazers' information and messages to me. I know you like the crystal apples! Alright, do you have it here? Thank you, I appreciate that. So, yeah, Vessa is an android VTuber, and Vessa has, here too, there you go. I'll grab that one in just a sec. So Vessa is an android VTuber, and he has, like, kind of this, like, black jacket with these green straps on. And it's kind of like this, spy assassin looking outfit. And then what we did for his stargazer design is we have the gemstone is more like a fluorite or a tourmaline. So yeah, you can get specific with the gemstones too. You can get specific with the gemstones. Tourmaline, this is called watermelon tourmaline. And the reason we chose it is because Vessa, it has heterochromia. And watermelon tourmaline is an actual gemstone that is both pink and green at the same time, or like magenta and green. So I thought that it was really, really perfect. So Vessa's gemstone is watermelon tourmaline. We still kept Vessa's heterochromia. And then because Vessa has, like, the black jacket, we changed that to being a big black ruff on the collar, because Vessa is very much likes felines. We gave his stargazer form more of a feline, like, longer tail. The tassels were easy because Vessa has twin tails, so that made things very, very simple. And then he also has leggings and gloves, so we reflected that in the colors of the paw pads. Hang on a sec here. What did the salad say when it was placed in the fridge? Let us out, it's dark in here. Okay, I like that. I like that one. That's good. That's good. Is chat laggy? Hopefully not too bad. Do you have a yellow one by chance? Like a yellow, what do you mean, like a yellow Stargazer? I guess this one's kind of like a lime color. I don't think we have any, like, I think we have one Stargazer, who had like a D&D design. I think they have like a yellow and pink, fur color. Vessa, do you mind if I grab a quick, painting that I've done for you? And, like, so that we can show, like, a side-by-side of how I translated the design, if that's alright with you? Need a teal gemstone? Isn't there some sapphires that have that color? There's sapphires, there's aquamarine, there's, I'm trying to remember. Well, there's literally just the gem turquoise. Sure? Alright, cool. Alright, let me see if I have... I'm trying to think where this would be. This was a while back, so I'm actually not sure where it's gonna be. Let me think here. Why does the French eat snails? They don't like fast food. I love it. Oh my gosh. You need to redesign yours? Kako, I like it. Oh, like a 2.0. I see. Yellowstone? Citrine. Yeah, citrine's good. Where is the... I'm losing track of everything. Alright, it's probably in here. I try to make a folder for these things. Alright, so this was like... This gives you sort of like an idea of Vessa's main design, because I know that you guys have mainly only seen his profile picture. So this is like Vessa's main design, right? He's got the twin tails, the heterochromia, he's got the black glove, and he's got the black jacket with the top and the strap. So, by comparison, this is how we did it in the Stargazer design. This is how you can sort of reflect a character into a Stargazer. The tassels, probably the easiest tassels that we'll ever have. Probably the easiest concept of tassels that we'll ever have. Got to keep the heterochromia. The gloves here ended up being black paws. And you can't see here because, it's only a bust, but but there's also leggings, so that sort of ended up being like a sock pattern. And because there's a crop top and then a jacket, we thought that the fur cuff being like just enough on the top here added a good sense of the black, contrast in the design. And it kind of kept it accurate to the length, right? I have all your art of me in one folder. Which one did you want? Yeah, I was looking for this one. I'm gonna make my Stargazer have a magical laser minigun. I'm not sure about that. I really don't understand the insistence with the minigun, honestly. I really don't think the minigun is a very fitting thing. What do you get if you combine a vampire and a teacher? I don't know. Smart design, yeah. Science and technology are magic if you think hard enough. I mean, science and technology are basically, like, phenomena that people think that they have proven, and magic is phenomena that people think, is not proven, essentially. Also, Blug, hello, welcome in. A bunch of blood tests. Oh my gosh, Simon. But yeah, you can kind of see, like, where we can do the translations, right? I know that, Simon Zero, for instance, had their design, based on, I'm sorry, I don't remember their name. I want to say, I don't know anything about Fire Emblem, so I'm either gonna say Marth or Ike, and I'm gonna be wrong, so I don't know. Ike, okay, thank you. I don't know anything about Fire Emblem. I'm like, I know it's one of the main characters. But yeah, so, like, Sim Zero did the same type of thing, right? Taking different elements and using the color schemes and using, like, various additions to sort of pull together this idea. And Vessa could have, like, some sort of accessory if he wanted. We could do something that had, like, green to represent the sash or something like that, you know? The other Smash character. I will try to remember. If I stick my crystal in a lightsaber, will it appear as a face on the blade? You don't have to answer that, just a random thought I had. I don't know. Why would it appear as a face? Where would the face come from? What, because the crystal being, like, attached to your soul? Is that what you're thinking? No matter who I end up basing the actual Stargazer design on, they're gonna have either a gun or a beam saber. It's just required to fit the source material. I mean, Vesa uses guns all the time, but his design doesn't have a gun. I don't know. I don't want it to just be like this stark man-made difference, you know? I really think that's the main thing. I don't want this stark man-made difference here. I feel like a gun just goes really, really far in that direction. I think that if you have things like, you know, swords or bows or stuff like that, that's sort of more like on the medieval side, it kind of just has like a different, direction, I suppose. Vesa's defining trait isn't being built for war, though. But as a Stargazer, it's very different. You have a good one, you might lose. Simon, thank you. I appreciate it. If you're heading out, I hope you have a good day today. Thank you for stopping by and saying hi. I appreciate it. If a Stargazer has a clock, where would we put it? What do you mean by a clock? Do you mean like as an accessory? It could be like a pocket watch around your neck. I'm thinking of Talk from Phantom Tollbooth now. I like the idea of Stargazers having weapons in their clandestine underground facilities, but they're not part of anyone's basic design. There you go! Unironically, I feel like that kind of makes the most sense, considering how much Stargazers have, like, been associated with, like, bombs. But, like, no one's holding a bomb in their design, right? The closest we have is that someone's tail looks like a fuse. I was considering muting some of my design to be less stand out, but then people started roasting marshmallows in my tail while I was reading and using me to light the Irium bombs. It's funny. We have Newbie Reaper, whose tail is fire, and then we have Charming Falcon, whose tail is a fuse. Bunny Burrow lore, exactly. Underground facilities, of which I'm not able to enter, apparently. You have to keep all the contraband hidden. Exactly. That's probably where everyone is storing their ammunitions and whatever. I don't see it. It's there, but I don't see it. Or something of that nature. That's the closest I can get to a compromise. Minigun stored underground somewhere, giant crossbow in the actual design. There you go. That could work. Haven't asked to enter? They haven't let me in. They've been very, very, insistent on never letting me in. What if their tails kissed? It's more like they have to stay away from each other and not, like, you know, try to enter the same doorway at the same time. I'd like to point out, if there's a design guideline for Star's idea, it should be followed. She spent the time and hard work on setting this stuff up. Thank you, Kako. I appreciate it. Have to run soon? Watching stream while driving's a bad idea? Yeah, please be safe. Please be safe, Osako. Please be safe. Big old sign, Starlight and the other big foxes may not enter. My headcanon is, while I was a lurker, people thought I was a ghost in the deeper tunnels before I came out. Oh my gosh. Alright, I think I have one other, let me show you something that should also help you as well. Let me think here, where else? So I know we have one more image. We've got, I think this one? Stargazers can also have, like, very elemental attributes to them, right? So you've got your water, fire, sort of like light or flying type Pokemon. No, but basically, this is kind of what I was trying to say, is that, like, the Stargazer's design can be very, very heavily based in their tassels, because the tassels have the most, well, frankly, they have the most canvas room. Let's be real here. They have the most canvas room. But they they kind of have just, like, a lot of flexibility, right? So you can have, like, some of them might have special aquatic tails. That might be, like, a very special trait they have. Any that have, like, actual fire, like Newbie, like, that's a very, very special trait, to have an actual element integrated into your form. Bet she drew it today? Nah, I've had this one for a while, actually. Stargazer Porygon. Anything can have a lot of canvas room if you're good enough at cramming details. I think the nicest thing about Stargazers is that if you can keep it simple, then you can keep them easy to draw. One of the things that I think is something I really want to try to do the best with the Stargazer design is creating a something or other that is able to be drawn by people who don't normally draw, right? So I tried, and this goes for most VTuber mascots, I feel. I think most VTuber mascots try to do the same thing. They try to not make anything super, super complex to draw, so then people— want me to pull that up? It can't draw, so it can't be a Stargazer? That's not true. The other thing is, like, Stargazers don't just have one form. This is sort of the main form that I draw them in, right? But even before I was part of Arknights, you know, you can always have, like, a bean version of a Stargazer. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, right? I mean, granted, they probably wouldn't just have— they probably actually have 2 spheres instead of a singular one. But you could always have, like, you know, some sort of bean-related thing, so it's easier to draw. Bean is my element. You're putting a lot of trust in me using paint? We have traditional, too. Chunky Gazer. I just subconsciously drew in Lillian, I guess. You say Stargazers have to be— you said Stargazers have to be made of flesh, but what about metal types? Not necessarily flesh. It's kind of like neither, right? It's like— it's not like physical flesh, it's more like a spirit. You could have, like, metal type, huh? I guess that would depend. I guess sort of, like, maybe some sort of accessory or some sort of, like— there could be, like, little parts, I suppose. Metallic sheen to the fur? That's really hard to design, unfortunately. I'm kind of thinking armor. I'm honestly kind of thinking armor in that. Tungsten fur. Stargazer based like the DeviantArt days. Oh my gosh. You saw what paint has wrought? It's best if it's used sparingly. The Stargazers are made of Stargazer. There you go. You know what I could see is, like, in the inside of the ears, right? Having, like, sort of a metal, like a mirror finish, right? Like, my ear insides are crystal. I don't know if anyone's ever noticed that, but they have, like, it's not just a flat gradient rainbow. I've got, like, crystalline texture in my ears. I don't know if anyone's picked up on that before. Not everybody does. It's regularly just drawn as a straight gradient. But yeah, maybe like a metallic sheen inside could work. Like a geode. Yeah, exactly. That's a good way. I don't actually ever think I've I don't think I've ever actually thought of it that way. Now that you're saying it. I don't think I've ever thought of it in that sense. You thought it was a geode? It's not rough like a geode, it's still soft. I thought you just fell into glitter and couldn't get it out of your ears. Wow, okay. You got an idea? I'm nervous, the fact that you say you have an idea. Would you be down for precious metal instead of gemstone for the forehead, or is that too far off, like platinum? Platinum is good. Words. Platinum is good. I tripped over my words because I was thinking about that failed clear the other day. Jeez. Yeah, no, that's fine. Precious metals is all good. The taco shells are coated with rock candy. Oh dear. I was thinking it was a geode the whole time, because crystal. I mean, I've never thought of it as a geode. Goodness. Some gems are matte, so precious metals seem fine. Yeah. And then going back to the, this thing? the gemstones can be faceted, they can be cut, they can be all fancy, or they can be very smooth, like a tumbled stone, right? So anything like a gold or a silver or anything, like, that is all good. Though you're still shook by Platinum's quote. I am! I am! Jade is perfect, yeah. Check Starlight chat. I'm a little afraid to now. Geode would imply the ears are each one half of an original rock formation? I mean, that's why I'm a little confused, because I never really, thought about it in that sense. I would try drawing Stargazer, but my Surface Pro pen is dead. No! Oh my gosh. I used to have to deal with that. Those are so annoying sometimes. On a side note, I looked up a list of gemstones, and wow, I didn't know black diamonds exist. So pretty. There's so many. There's such a variety. Also, because no one Stargazer is gonna look like a carbon copy of the other, like, it's okay if, for instance, you know, 2 Stargazers have ruby gemstones. Chances are you probably won't have the same shape anyway, but even if you did, I mean, I would imagine that your main design is still gonna look different enough, right? But yeah, I think the nice thing about gemstones is because there's literally thousands, there's so much variety people can have. There's so much variety. If I did have a Stargazer design, like, for myself, it would probably be like Labradorite or Rainbow Moonstone. Which are both things that exist. Uranium Stargazer. Oh, jeez. Onyx is a black gem, too? Blank, what is yours again? Is it Onyx, or is it like a black pearl? I forget now. Diamond into carbon copy top. Aww. Plutonium, the ultimate bomb. Jeez, okay. Let's still keep it within, like, metals and rocks and not start getting into, like, nuclear crazy. It is? It is. Oh! Oh, we don't get to know. Okay, that's fair. That's the other thing. It doesn't have to be any sort of, known stone either. If you want to be like blank and just have it blank, that works. Why is the air spicy around the plutonium Stargazer gem? Jeez. I thought it was going to be... I don't even know how to read that out loud. Originium stone, oh my gosh. It's pretty bad that I'm better at following the rules for design more than some of the other Stargazers. It's okay. This is why we have the talk. This is why we have the thingy. The other thing that I wanted to mention, and this is sort of like where you guys come in, right? So, Stargazers as a whole have gone through a few evolutions over time, right? They sort of have been trying to find their footing along the way. So I think I've gotten like a pretty set concept. But I also want to figure out where the line is in giving you guys enough freedom, right? So I've seen in the past someone's mentioned horns, right? I think it would make sense that the tassels, for the most part, should always be tassels in some form. But instead of, like, rabbit ears, if you wanted horns, then I think that that can still be valid. If you wanted, like, antlers, I think that that could still work. Because the thing is, like, the tassels aren't ears, but they also kind of look like ears in a way, like, sort of like a lop rabbit. So, even if you had horns and no rabbit ears, or antlers and no rabbit ears, with the tassels, it still looks like it works. I had a body horror thought about plutonium Stargazer, like the gem opens up for a third eye. Funny you mentioned that. Funny you mentioned that, because if you've ever seen, you ever seen Blank's design? Actually, wait, I think I have it right here. Do I have it? Nothing's labeled, so here we go. So, this is a piece that Eve commissioned once of, like, a bunch of existing Stargazers that were heavily in the community when Irium was a thing. And this one right here is Blank Stargazer, also affectionately known as the mold spore. And Blank Stargazer, with the gemstone that is just question marks, also is surrounded by a white fur pattern. And the white fur pattern definitely makes it look a certain way, right? Jackalope Stargazer, there you go. What if I made a Stargazer design specifically to cause yellow rock cancer? I wouldn't. I would still try to keep things on the positive. I never took a close look. It's great, right? It's some sort of like Black Pearl-esque gemstone. And the thing is, like, the gemstone is not this entire shape, right? The gemstone is not this trapezoidal, teardrop-looking stone. It's a black stone, and then blank has a stripe of fur, like a fur pattern. Just, that happens to be right there. So you can get very creative with it. You can sort of like create different feelings if you play around with your fur colors and everything. Stargazers are made of positive desire and happy wishes. Could probably be a good written rule. I feel kind of sad that I have to make that a written rule, honestly. Alright, Asako. Drive safe, please. But yeah, so that's kind of an example. This one is Eve. So if you've seen Eve's design, she's got like white hair and she's got the broken halo. So again, broken halo being the main accessories. Lillian has earrings here. So you can also have earrings like underneath the ears and in front of the tassels. There's Vessa again. There's Newbie. There's Charming Falcon. Charming Falcon has a fuse fur tail. And also glasses as the accessory. Because Charming Falcon is a very avid reader, his tassels are actually meant to sort of evoke the look of bookmarks. Vine Fox is kind of more of like a ghostly apparition looking design. Neo is essentially like, Neo just came up with a really nice design, except this is just a very goofy face for Neo. Dual Thrones has more of like a lynx look to him. So everything is sort of very like swift and fast and thin. So like sharp pointy ears, sharp wispy tail, sharp wispy tassels. Kind of giving this very, like, fast, agile look. Blank's design is a good example of taking a theme from the original character, but incorporating it into a Stargazer from it in a non-literal fitting way. Yeah, absolutely. Because, like, Blank's original design is like, if you can see Blank's profile image in the chat, Blank is basically personified as a mask. So how the heck do you turn a mask into a Stargazer? Well, you take the color scheme and you mess around with it, and if you want some sort of eldritch horror that still stays, like, family-friendly, you have fur patterns and crystals that match the fur patterns and evoke different things. I felt a disturbance? Oh my gosh, hello, Charming Falcon. What the heck? Your timing. Hello. Hi, I was explaining that your Stargazer form has, like, bookmark ears and a fuse tail. Also, I still feel like Charming Falcon and Newbie are probably a little too close together. Because Newbie has the flame tail, and Charming Falcon has the fuse tail. And we should probably try to keep them, fairly far apart, if possible. But yeah, so there's a lot you can do. Eve also sort of has, like, Eve is sort of like a harbinger of chaos. So Eve chose sort of like this yin-yang motif on her tassels, right? Like, each tassel has, like, a yin-yang feeling. And because Eve also has a lot of purple in her design, like, on her clothing, it was incorporated in the eye color, in the tassels, and in the paw pads. And there you go with the circular paw pad. Falcon's tail's already lit in the image, it's too late! Fair enough. You know, the tragedy of this image is we're running from the explosion, but no one notices that Charming Falcon's fuse is actively armed. Aww. Love my Stargazer design, Bomby Bookworm. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. That was my decoy fire extinguisher. So, yeah, I want to be able to have, like, a lot of freedom, but, like, reasonable freedom, right? So you can see that every Stargazer is able to sort of have, like, some way of still being themselves, while not all being limited to the exact same design, right? Like, again, I'm trying to think of, like, an exact same design example. Like Dragoons, right? Doki Bird's Dragoons, they're basically all, like, yellow chicks with horns. Like yellow birds with horns. They're pretty much all consistently yellow birds with horns. So because I still am very much an art-focused content creator, despite basically being stuck in Terra, need to Google that? Let me just pick up, let me grab an image real quick. Let me just grab an image for Doki Bird Dragoon and you'll know what I mean. Because so much of what I want to show is things that are creative, I want to be able to give people enough freedom to still be their own. Doki Bird did something interesting, actually. Doki Bird, made, like, 4 variants of Dragoon. So you can pick, like, 1 of 4, but they're all going to be the yellow chick with the horns. Now I need to design what my Stargazer's face actually looks like under the mask that no one will see. I want to be the egg. You start, this is what happens when you try to explore the burrows without a guide, you fall into Terra. Or could you say that I literally fell down the rabbit hole? So these are really good designs. I'm not knocking Doki Bird's design work at all, because I think that Doki Bird has a very, very, very strong design. Very, very strong design. But in terms of individual expression, you are basically limited to these 4. So that's my thing, right? Like, I want to still be able to give everybody individual expression that goes a little bit further beyond, like, 4 or even 1. The completely unrelated VTuber also had, a singular mascot at one point. This character is not at all related to the other character that I just showed. And this one is, little purple dragon type of character. But it's a purple dragon. You're going to get a purple dragon. That is what you would be represented as. It is a purple dragon. So at least, Doki Bird has, like, 4 different designs, because, you know, chick birds have, like, such a visual recognition of, like, the baby chick, the egg, and then, like, the full grown, so it works really well. But yeah, that's kind of, like, what I'm trying to say is, because everything that I do is more based on creativity, I want to give a little bit more freedom to people. Question, hypothetically, if someone makes a Stargazer that doesn't follow the rules, how is it handled? Is it non-canon and will be treated as such? I know you're trying to be very open, but some people might make things that go very against the rules or vision. Essentially, yeah. If it's not following the rules or the vision, it's basically, like, non-canon. Like, I can't stop people from drawing, right? I can't say, like, you're not allowed to draw this thing. I literally don't have the authority to stop someone from doing that. But essentially, like, it would be considered non-canon, and the best thing to explain non-canon is that if I ever do events where I'm drawing people's Stargazer design, I would not include it. So, like, for example, this thing, right? If you had, like, a very, very non-canon design, if you were, like, very intentionally trying to not follow the rules, or trying to fight, or trying to argue, or trying to break something, then if I end up doing a group thing like this, I just probably wouldn't end up including it. Because it would kind of mess with the whole flow of the design, right? Like, if someone made a Stargazer, or they said it was a Stargazer, but it was just, like, a triangle with eyes, I'm not gonna include that, right? Like, that's not gonna... Like, if we just ended up having, like, someone is like, yes, I want to be included now. I'm not gonna include them. Imagine a non-canon Stargazer would basically just be a Stargazer's OC. Kinda, yeah. Dorito Gazer. We would not put a purple floating ecosahedron. I don't know. First thing I could come up with. I don't know why. Just a triangle peak design. It looks like I just, like, grabbed something from Mario and shoved it in here. Miss Falcon's officially here watching over my shoulder. Hello! Welcome in, welcome in! I'm sorry that the first thing you're seeing is explosions and destruction. I swear, everything I do is, like, is very family friendly. It's these guys I can't control. Paper Mario specifically, or the yarn one, there you go. But hello, I hope you're doing well. Basically what I'm explaining right now, just to catch you up here, if you're watching, is, I have all the members of my community, sort of represented as these little bunny creatures, because a VTuber tries to make, like, a mascot that viewers can sort of project themselves onto, and it creates a little bit more sense of a community. So, for example, we have, like, all these different, bunny designs that people have chosen, and, well, that one's newbie. That's Bessa. Oh my gosh, there we go. I don't have these files labeled, so I'm sort of, like, failing here. But there's all these little ideas that people can have as long as they have this general template of this little bunny. So, the bunny has these little crystals on their foreheads, and it kind of represents, like, dreams and wishes. And then these little tassels can all look different depending on, like, the bunny's individual traits. I don't know if I'm explaining this very well right now. But essentially in this crazy one here, right? We have, this bunny as, Charming Falcon here, and the tassels are representing, bookmarks because of all the reading. And then, this is another person in the community. Their tassels are sort of wrapped around them like a scarf. And it's not usually this chaotic. It's usually a lot more tame. Let me find something more tame. Oh my gosh, where are my files? There we go. There we go. It's usually more tame. It's usually not all explodey. Starline Separate. If Falcon is a book, would it be a cute little pamphlet? Oh my gosh, Vessa. I don't know how I would even, like... Would the tassels be, like, accordion folded? Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's basically... This Falcon likes the rainbow one on the example sheet. The rainbow one is mine. Also, the rainbow one is being derpy in the corner there, too. The rainbow one's name is Prism, and she's sort of like the main one that, basically communicates with all the other Stargazers and relays the messages to me. So, like, when this Stargazer is asking for something from me, Prism relays it back to me. In this case, crystal apples. But yeah, so I saw someone mention pyromancy in the comments. I saw pyromancy before. So, there are Stargazers that can basically learn magic. This one is trying to learn fire magic. There is a sense of pyromancy, in a way. Alright, let me catch up here really quickly. Stargazers that don't follow the guidelines are canonically kept from the deep burrows. And rarely ever come out to the surface, hence their exclusion from community stuff. Oh my gosh. The deep burrows. The deep burrows. Wait, I need to know more about that. Stargazers that don't follow the guidelines are canonically from the deep burrows. They rarely ever come out to surface, hence their exclusion from community events. Oh my gosh. That is insane, and it works so well. Meanwhile, I'm just here going, isn't it kind of pointless for me to have a Stargazer form when you can assume by playing games I more or less travel to different worlds Captain N style? I don't know what Captain N is. Oh, shoot. I don't have any, I could've sworn I said that.
Pink Stargazer just supported the Prismatic Fox for 3. Thank you for bringing back the crystal apples.
Who did that? Thank you for the Kobe, Pink Star, unnamed Pink Stargazer. Oh my gosh. Incredible, incredible. You're welcome for the crystal apples. I have to figure out a way to make this part go away. Oh my gosh, not the overlapping craziness. No. Alright. Oh, oh, it's the regular, okay, it's the regular chat. Okay, we're good, we're good. Complete anonymity. Oh my gosh. The deep burrows is where we dug too greedily and too deep. Oh my gosh. As I said, they say, yeah, this is actually me, I look like this. No, I won't take part in events where you can see me, just trust me. Hence why the designs are just the self-insert OC. Incredible. I love it. I love both of those concepts, honestly. You need a Balrog Stargazer? I love the concept of the deep burrows. I do too! I don't even know what the regular burrows are like, let alone the deep burrows. But yeah, I think like, alright, let me start making like a little bit of a escapade towards design world here. Seko, hello, hello, welcome in, welcome in. So as I was saying, like, as I was saying, like, Stargazers basically, I feel like I didn't allow, horns before, because I was trying to keep everything as consistent as possible. But I feel like horns are something that a Stargazer definitely could have. I'm still making them large, just ignore that. I think it could work, as long as they have the tassels, right? The tassels are sort of the main idea. Let's see here. Maybe they had, like... Well, you know what, let's just go for something that's kind of like deer-looking, I suppose, right? If I'm just trying things out. I'm just trying things out. What if they had, like, tassels that kind of had, like, a leaf-looking element, maybe? We're playing around with design here, and we're sort of discussing, like, what works and what doesn't. You can have, like... It's kind of like goat ears, almost. And then maybe some sort of, like, emerald or something, because, you know, foresty green, perhaps? And then they always have the bunny nose. So, that's one thing, right? Dog or cat nose. Cat nose looks like this, is gonna be more like a triangle. Dog nose is more of like a rounded triangle. And a bunny nose is going to be like this, sort of think like when you're drawing, like, little birds in a beach scene, right? Bunny nose is just gonna be this very, very faint, tiny looking thing, and it can still have color here. So we have like a little bunny nose. Like the corner of a cube. Do not cite the deep burrows to me, I was there when they were dug. Oh my gosh. Slightly rounded cube, there you go. No, it looks better than the whole Gazer design? No, it's all... I've just been drawing them for a while, so I kind of have it in my head, you know? This is completely my headcanon, I'm not a Stargazer. You never actually see my full body and face, as anytime I show up similar to Horde Prime in the old She-Ra cartoon, you only see my silhouette. I'm curious what the silhouette looks like now, though. And then, alright, we could do, like, sort of... Hang on, I need to move the nose examples out of the way here. Could kind of have like some sort of deer-looking idea. And I think it still works as a stargazer because we've got the tassels. It is kind of jackalope looking, but I think it could still work. Because the main thing is the tassels, right? Alright, I'm gonna skip this one when I'm doing the silly stream. I really need to figure out a way to make that only appear in other ways. Kind of has like a little bit of a leaf-looking feeling, you know? And then, I don't know, maybe it's like an autumn-colored... Maybe it's like an autumn-colored stargazer and they have like a little scarf they wear or something. And then... has like, you know, little pieces here for the feet. And then maybe it's like... I don't know, maybe this color fur? You can always keep mixing and matching, trying different things, seeing what works. It can also be very, very rough. You don't have to, like, color it cleanly or draw it cleanly or anything like that, right? Make it... Trying to at least... Oh, did I... What did I do here that's not making that work? Does it not want to behave here? What happened? What did I do? Somehow I ended up painting in white? Okay. Just get rid of that real fast. There we go. Wilson from Home Improvement Stargazer, face always hidden by a fence or something. Oh my gosh. Do you see how stargazers kind of have like a little bit of like a fae aspect? Kind of like sort of this magical creature. That's why they don't really have much of the metal or man-made feeling. Is they kind of have this very intense like fae aspect to them. Because everything is very, very spirit-based, right? You can always do like 2 streaks of white and there you go, that's how you make a highlight. And then have like... You can have like little autumn leaf here. And then it could fade as it's like, you know, getting closer to fall. I don't know. I don't know how I even came up with this. And using the same color as the horns to sort of add some piece here. And then if you wanted to, you could add like, I don't know, the feet kind of have like the feeling of grass. And there you go. That's how you can just quickly grab a design that's based on like something you like. If your favorite thing in the world is like the fall season, the fall aesthetic, you can do something like that. Granted, if I spent a little more time on it, I could probably like, you know, color match it a little bit nicer. But you get what I'm saying, right? Pumpkin spice gazer, there you go. That'll be fun. Then you can always like, you can always sort of like, I think Sime Zero was asking earlier, like, can you draw them doing something? It's like, yeah, sure. So, alright. You don't even have to color this, you can just do like little sketches of little things that they might do, right? So we've got little gemstone. Always want to have the gemstone, very important. Could just give it like little silly, little bit of the leaf tassel. And he's just enjoying the weather. And he's got like a little pumpkin spice here. And you just do something like silly like that. Just playing around with like different ideas, different things that might happen. 24/7 access to salad. Oh no! Hello, Raoul! Welcome in, welcome in! Had a power outage. Oh no, don't worry about it, don't worry. Speaking of autumn, do you listen to AKA operator themes? Angelina has such a cozy autumn theme in the style of a 90s anime. Is that what I was hearing? I think White Sengetsu posted a clip of it. That sounds really cool. I will wander the deep burrows and use my tail to light the way for lost stargazers. Oh my gosh, newbie. Hang on a sec. Imagine someone somewhere far from the deep burrows. I end up setting up shop there, running a ranch and digifarm after breeding all the Monster Rancher monsters. Goodness. Here, I thought you'd abandon us after Aroma finally came home. Oh my gosh. Doing something is eating candy since it's mandatory for it to be the favorite activity of every stargazer. You guys don't need candy. We have an entire bakery. We have an entire bakery. There's no need for you to go after candy. We have a whole bakery. Don't ask Newbie Reaper about the cash register. But we have a whole bakery. Hello, hello, welcome in. For context, Captain N was the Deke cartoon featuring characters from Kid Icarus, Mega Man, Castlevania, and even Zelda and other NES games like Donkey Kong, where every one of them's so off-model. Oh, okay. The song is literally called Autumn Moods. I love that. That's really cool. Zangetsu's has another song in a similar style. Noted. Newbie could be the keeper of the deep burrows and be like the illusionary version of the underworld. Not literally, but thematically. Oh my gosh. That actually makes a lot of sense, to be honest. The bakery has the most delicious money. Oh, Newbie. You want marshmallows? You can have marshmallows, you just can't have the candy necklace. We have World War II fighter pilot Simon Belmont and rebellious skateboarding teen Alucard, who's a bad guy here. What the heck? That's weird. I've never actually had cooked marshmallows now that you think about it. You've never had a cooked marshmallow? Well, just ask Newbie. People use them all the time. People are constantly roasting marshmallows on his tail. Yeah, that kind of like, that sort of explains like how a Stargazer works, right? I think someone also mentioned like, could they have accessories on the ears? Yeah, absolutely. If you wanted to have like beads or, I think I mentioned before, like Lillian has earrings. You could even have like, you'd have some sort of like design here if you wanted to, I guess. Surprised Raoul has never cooked marshmallows, considering how everywhere he goes things catch on fire. Goodness. I feel like this doesn't look very good. I don't know. There's probably better ways to do it. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. I know Lillian, for instance, though. Lillian has earrings here that work well. And Lillian's earrings are round, so they also reflect her round, gemstone. Catch on what? Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, I think that, I think we can make it so that the ears could also be antlers, which I previously didn't really have a thing that made sense for that. I think that if it was antlers and ears and tassels, now it's starting to get a little bit too complex. Now it's starting to be a little too much. But I think that ears, or horns make sense. I think someone else was mentioning, like, they probably wanted, like, more, Draco-looking horns, or, like, a ram horn. So you could have something like that. The tassels could also be rounded. You could have- this is basically a sheep. I'm basically just drawing a sheep now. This basically just looks like a sheep. I need to find a way to not make it look like a sheep. I don't know, maybe there's, like, some accessories on the horns or something. Maybe this has, like, some sort of patterning. This basically looks like the Crystal Apple Stargazer, but, like, with sheep horns for some reason. I don't even know what's happening now, but maybe it's like a longer tail. I don't know. That's perfect for a newbie. There needs to be a library, and I can be the librarian. Except I'm always the one getting ambushed because of the- getting shushed because of the bombs. We do have a library. We do- I've sort of like... Estrella used to have a library called the Silver Library. And I've sort of tried remaking it in the atelier to the best of my ability. It's not nearly as big, but I think it still contains, like, a good amount of things. That's where I was going to put the book for Terra, and then I was told that it's essentially just the tutorial. So... Your warnings can't stop me from eating your necklace if I can't hear. Jeez. What about number of horns? Prism's the only one who can have a single horn, right? Yeah. What about 3 horns? Never actually considered that, to be honest. So the thing that makes Prism different, right? If I go back to the, let me throw this all in a folder. If I go back to the main image here, so Prism is the only one that has, like, a protruding horn. And the protruding horn is her crystal. So essentially, like, everybody, all the other Stargazers' horns are flat. Or, not horns. All the other Stargazers' gemstones are flat. The reason is because Prism has a little bit more of a unicorn magic element to her, for, lore reasons. And that unicorn magic sort of manifested in, I guess you could call it, like, a mutation, in a way. So her crystal is more unicorn horn shaped. And all the other Stargazers have more of like a flat horn look, if that makes- I keep saying horn. Flat gemstone. Flat gemstone look. Need more art of Crystal Apple Stargazer? Please make her sneak into future drawings and stuff. She needs a name of some sort, doesn't she? Yeah. Horn instead of ear either implies all Stargazers hear through the tassels, or the horn ones do it through their horns. The tassels aren't really ears, so I guess the horned ones kind of serve as that, don't they? How about spinal backplates like Godzilla? I guess Kaku would love that, or is that too much? I feel like that could actually be fine. Let me see here. We had like a Stargazer-zilla. Wait, didn't we already- Hang on a second here. Hang on. Hang on. I'm pretty sure that we've already done this. I think I've played these games before. Where is this? Where is it? That. Where's my Bakadoodle folder? I guess Prism didn't have it, but yeah, we kind of basically have that idea. I just didn't have the spines on her this time. The reason, I guess because, like, it was based on a Tyrannosaurus, right? And Tyrannosaurus don't have those, but... All my ideas were already taken? What do you mean? Yeah, so we do have, like... Prism is just a very special case, honestly. Prism is just a special individual. That's newbie again. There we go. A little Stargazer with, like, backplates? I think that would be okay. I'm trying to think how that would be. If they had, like... As long as they don't turn into, like, full-on lizard, right? But if we had some sort of, like... I'm trying to think how this could work. You know what? If you had, like, the lizard spine and then, like, the bunny ears... They can't have just tassels, right? They can't have just tassels. They have to either have, like, ears or horns or something. But if you did, like, bunny ears, and then, like, the regular tassels... I think that could actually work pretty well. I think that could work. The Prism Rex, yeah. Hello again, Raoul. Welcome back. Yeah, I think backplates are fine. I think that could work. If you wanted to go with that. I think horns work. I think the backplates work. I think that if you're going to do something that is, like, off from a bunny element, just, like, add a bunny element back in, right? So instead of doing, like, backplates and horns, I did, like, backplates and bunny ears. So it's, like, you're kind of balancing that feeling, right? Which is Raoul Gazer. We don't have one yet. We're still waiting. I think it's going to look like Aroma. I actually really like this design. Raoul's currently busy driving trains in the boroughs. What, do you have like an entire Wait, that makes sense for trains, doesn't it? I was gonna say, do you have like an underground tunnel system? I'm like, wait, that's literally what trains have. Mine carts! Oh my gosh. Wolf ear tail and tassel. Alright, let's see. You know what? I'm curious now. What would that look like? Where's my line art? Let's see here. You know what? Let's do an experiment. Because I'm just curious. Obviously, Raoul, you can do your own version of this. I'm just curious. If I was given this assignment right now, and I was told, like, you have 5 minutes to get this done, right? Hang on a sec. I'm curious. If someone just said, like, you've got 5 minutes, go. Let me see. Alright. Like I said, you can 100% do this on your own. With your own ideas and everything. But I've got my curiosity piqued now. So let's hide these. Because how would I? I feel like it's a good challenge, right? We'd still have to have our bunny face, we'd still have to have our bunny body, and we'd still have to have our little bunny paws. But how could we make this feel like an existing character, right? I showed you guys Newbie, I showed you guys Vessa. I'm curious how this would go. Please draw a train conductor cap on the Raoul Gazer. That's a good way to make it, like, you know, not just Aroma, right? Not just a carbon copy Aroma. Adding something of your own, right? I don't know what a train conductor cap looks like off the top of my head. I'm trying here. I think the ears could still be wolf ears. I think that's fine. Or they can be short, right? Because I've said that before. The ears can be big or they can be small. So that's okay. The tassel is the main thing. Let's see if we can utilize Aroma's hair as our tassel design. Because I think that could actually work very, very well. I was thinking about the gem being a flower. Why wouldn't it be a perfect sphere like a bubble? I was gonna use Aroma's hair for the tassel design? Yeah. So, like, if I was doing this, right? And Raoul, you can take this or you can completely do it yourself. Like, it's totally fine. I wanted to just see how I could do this. So we've got like an iridescent, bubble-looking gem here. And then Aroma has, like, fairly soft eyes, right? I just did the reference of this, but I don't really have the proportions at the moment, because I'm just doing this very, very quickly. I'm taking notes like a madman. And then I feel like the tassels could have a little bit of wispiness here, right? Like the hair. Even could have, like, multiple layering if we wanted. And then instead of it just being a wolf tail, I think I want to try combining the wolf tail with the ponytail, right? So if I did something a little bit softer, a little bit wispier, because this would look really good in movement, right? It kind of has like a little bit of a horsetail texture, but it's not meant to be a horse. Fun facts, my anthroform actually has a very similar tail where it's very long and wispy. And then when you're able to have this long and wispy tail that's not just a basic wolf tail, you can intersperse like blue streaks, and it gives the feeling of that ponytail again, right? So we can do the tassels here, like the hair, and then we can have flower accessory. Because there's no reason that we can't have the flower accessories under the ears here. I think that still works perfectly. The train conductor cap, here's what we're gonna do. Because it's very hard to braid fur, right? It's very hard to braid fur. The train conductor cap is going to have her headband on it. Her headband with the flower is gonna be right on the train conductor cap. And then we've got these flowers here, these flowers here, as many as we need. And then, because of this patterning on her jacket, right? This patterning, we are going to do, we're gonna do colored paws. One is going to be black. The other is going to be white. You can change this if you don't like it. I think we could also add, like, a few flowers here. It looks a little silly, but if you pair it well, it can look cute. It's entirely up to you if you want to do this. It might be too much, and that's all. That is completely okay. And then let's see, accessory-wise, right? You could always still the same thing we did with the bean, right? You could always still carry the bubble wand there. Or if you wanted, you could do it like My Little Pony style, where it's just floating. Like, either way is completely fine, to be honest. My Little Pony style basically meaning that, like, you just have magic to make it levitate as you need, or if you are in your two-legged form because, you know, rabbit, then you could just hold it. That works too. I think what might make sense is if, like, the wand kind of, like, comes out, like, magically sort of, like, forms out of the gem. And then if you're on two legs, you can basically hold it easily. And then you've still got the tassels here with the hair and everything. And then we could do a little paw difference here. Yeah, can't drive trains while quadruped. And then for color? Well, obviously we have to do the brown, right? And then the color just kind of is, you know, basically what you know best. You can obviously keep adjusting this as you see fit, but this is just sort of, you know, what I'm trying to come up with as quickly as I could. And a lot of this I am taking from the time we did the bean design as well, right? But with a little bit more of a twist, because the bean is a little bit limited in not having the neck as easily, and this sort of gives us a little bit more flexibility. When you have a head separate from your body, believe it or not, that actually makes a huge difference. Oh, because this is like black and white and then white and black, why don't we actually go like, why don't we do something like that? That could be interesting. And then of course we've got our flower here. I can't see every detail. I'm not gonna go crazy on the detail, but I'm just trying to get the general feeling, right? And then we've got this here. This is going to be more of a iridescent bubble type texture. So I can't really do it like too well right now, but you obviously know what the texture is, right? And then we'll do this again. You don't have to do it on the tail base. It's a design that can sometimes work, sometimes doesn't. It's really up to you. But let's definitely do the streaks in the tail. I think the tail could work really well to also match with the hair. We could actually... Are there streaks in the hair? Yeah, there are streaks in the hair. And if we wanted to simplify it, we could do the bottom here. And then for the face, we could always change the patterning. Would also kind of gives it a little bit more of a dog feeling as well, if necessary. As long as you make sure to have, like, the bunny nose, that'll keep it from feeling too much like a dog directly, too much like direct Lupo. And then let's add a little bit of lightness here. Make sure this doesn't feel too much like a... There we go. Once we add the eye whites, that makes a huge difference, doesn't it? And then let's make the train conductor hat maybe maybe blue or maybe green. I'm not really sure. We can kind of go either way with that. With something like that. And now you have like Aroma Gazer, but also still you. Let me see if I can catch up on the messages real quick here. Challenge to make a good shorter VOD clip? There you go. I wish I had time-lapsed it, but that's okay. Make the tail release some bubbles. There you go. That could work. Yeah. Oh! You know what would be really cute? You know what would be really, really cute? Oh my gosh. This would be kind of hard to pull off, but it would look so cute. Bubbles as you're running. You know how, like, in Okami, you have, like, Okami who can, make flowers as they're running? But instead, it's, like, bubbles as you're running? I think that could be really fun. Probably take a lot of references from the design? Heck yeah, whatever you want. Whatever you want. If you don't want to, use any of them, then... You know, A-okay, I don't mind. I really wanted to see, like, hey, in a limited time, like, how could I play with this and give people, like, a quick example of taking these character ideas, right? This would obviously look better in a full illustration, but you get the idea. When you have a head separate from your body, believe it or not, it actually makes a huge difference. Starlight out of context quote of the month. Oh. Goodness. Yeah, Moonstone could look very bubble-like, absolutely. We were speaking of Stargazers, yes, hello, hello. I came running, I had previously been waiting to help my mom haul a chair. No worries, no worries, we're happy to see you here, Dual Thrones. Also, I was pointing out your design earlier too, I was going over the piece Eve commissioned and sort of explaining all the different design elements here. I'll design my own version of the Aroma Gazer when I have the time? Yeah, absolutely. And again, like, if you want to use the whole thing, you can. If you want it to be more of your own, you can. If you want to not use any of this, that is totally fine. This is just, like, some general ideas that I had. I thought it would be fun to try stuff out. And if you want to, like, not make it 100% aroma and still add your own element to it, then yeah, absolutely. Leaving water stains. Splashy splash. Aroma running on a trail of bubbles. Exactly! It's like running across a rainbow, but it's just bubbles. Good evening. I'm here to quickly swing by to see how everything goes. Any chance for Praminix? I haven't really thought of, like, a Praminix Stargazer design. I don't want- okay. I should probably state this right now. I want to make sure that all the Stargazers designs don't suddenly start all turning into operators. You know, I don't want all the Stargazers to suddenly just become operators in Stargazer form. I think that would kind of defeat the purpose a little bit. I know that Aroma has been saying Aroma Gazer this entire time, so I just wanted to see what that would look like. But I also still want to make sure that this is, like, that this is you guys, right? That this is you. Not necessarily your favorite Arcanite's operator, but very specifically to, like, who you are as well. If you want to take some design elements, like Slime Zero did with Ike, no problem at all. But still add some things that make you, you. I have a big issue with the design. The stray pixel? Where's the- oh. There you go. I'm gonna try drawing a silent Stargazer now. Goodness. I'll use it as the Stargazer for a while until I do my own, if that's okay with you. Yeah. Stargazers can, like, you know, adapt and evolve over time. Prism sure did. You want to see, like, an early version of Prism? Prism did not look like the Prism you see now, actually. Aroma Gazer is real because I'm literally Aroma Arknights. The Aroma Stargazer example still represents Raoul. It's just not taking an op and turning them into a Stargazer. Important difference. Yeah. Finally, we're not gonna go mad. We're free? What do you- wait, what? What do you guys mean? What do you mean you're free? What do you mean you're not gonna go mad? What do you mean you're free? Did I miss something? I'm confused. Oh, the pixel. the stray pixel. Jeez. You wanna see? Yeah. Let me see if I have her earliest design. Very few people are going to have seen this before. Very, very few. There might be a select few of you who have seen this in the past, but I don't think the vast majority of you have. Dual Thrones might have. Dual Thrones has probably seen it. Possibly Newbie. So this was the original, Prism. This is the original version of Prism. This is what Prism originally looked like. As you can see, she's kind of hard to draw. She's a little bit tricky. She's a little bit hard to draw. That's a shush. Yeah, I've seen that version before. I feel like Newbie, Vesa, and Dual Thrones have, and that's probably about it. Yeah, it's very elaborate, right? It's not easy to draw. So then what did Prism become? She got, very simplified so that more people could draw her. And as you can see, all the rainbow in the giant ruff of fur just sort of got changed to 3 colors on her tassels. The full rainbow is still in her tail, but it's a lot easier to deal with one singular rainbow than 2 full ones. And overall, there's just, like, there's a lot less going on, right? Because I had the ears, the tassels, the full horn, the rainbow fur, the full rainbow tail, to a very, very elaborately rendered degree. And then, like, and also, like, 4 or 5 different, breaks in her ears. And then we simplified her ears, and simplified the tassel, and then added color to the tassel to give more importance to the tassel. Got rid of the importance in the neck fur, and then kept the tail as it is, because I think the tail's okay as, like, the one sort of more elaborate element. It's basically just like a cloud. So yeah, it's like, you can keep evolving things. I still believe her derp state is her regular form. She, you know, she can be responsible sometimes. She can be, you know, sometimes she has to, sometimes she has to deal with others. Sometimes she has to deal with other Stargazer shenanigans, right? I've also sometimes, like, ended up having little, specks of, like, crystally prismatic dust in her fur, but it's not nearly, as elaborate as it once was. So, yeah, I mean, what do you think is easier to draw? Her here? Or her here? I think if you're able to make, a Stargazer easier to draw, it's more fun to draw multiple times. Like, for me personally, I know that, like, my design is complex. A VTuber design is gonna be more complex than the mascot design. But if you're tired of drawing your own design, sometimes drawing the mascot is a good change of pace. Her eyes are too focused. Life was difficult for her. Yeah. The tail looks like a nebula or like a strange aurora. Kind of, yeah. I mean, I sort of have like the aurora motifs going on as well. How do you feel about your profile pic effect being called a cloud wig? It's an aurora, guys. It's an aurora borealis. There is a clown wig sticker on Discord, and it's very different from the aurora. Do you ever take advantage of her simplified design to draw her all the time, or do you simplify the design and proceed to get no advantage from it? What? What do you mean by that? I think that I can draw her a lot faster and a lot easier now because of her simplified design for sure. I mean, if she had her current design and I was still doing all the emotes, that would be a little annoying, don't you think? Oh my gosh, you guys. Just the Stargazers can be responsible sometimes with explosives. I swear. I can't think of Prism in any other shape that is not the image bottom left of the screen. Prism has, you know, she has more to her than just derp. She's a complex being. Not only easier to draw, but cuter too. Yeah, I kind of might have missed the mark on her portrait a little. I'll admit that. But yeah, definitely cuter, definitely easier, definitely more of like a Bambi element, you know? I keep jump scaring the stream. Oh my gosh. They definitely feel like the same design, but draw on different levels of complexity according to context. Yeah, and the thing is, like, when you have a simplified design, you can crazily render it to make it more complex if you wanted to, right? But you can't really take a super complex design and simplify it down. I mean, you can. People make chibis of every design. It's definitely a lot harder, though. Things can get, muddy. I have zero idea how to implement my mask design, as I'm quite literally just a mask. What about, like, the mask, as a fur pattern? I mean, you have, like, white, black, and purple, right? So you can have, like, purple accents in the design. You can have the mask being, like, a fur pattern. It's always, you can find a solution, right? There's always, it might not be immediately obvious, but there is always a solution to these things. Localized entirely in her PFP. Oh my gosh. You guys. You'll never escape the legacy of Irium and the every 15 minutes flurry of bombs. Stargazer lore was established in that. That's insane to me. It wasn't originally established in that, it just kind of became what everything is now. Ugh. Like... I have those mostly down, it's just implementing the plus. Maybe I'll make it an accessory. You could do that, yeah. I want there to be, like, a main ability to still see your face. In some way, but as an accessory, I think that could still work. I need ideas of concepts for my Stargazer, because I don't have any idea of how I can make my Stargazer me. Any help, chat? I did a, I don't know if you were here earlier, Seko, but I did a design that was like, where was it? Let me, clean this up a little bit. Where is my fall design that we just sort of jumped in with? So the problem is I don't know where I have the... Shoot, where did it... There we go. I was talking about, as well, how horns are valid as long as we have the tassels. Goat horns can be valid with the tassels, deer antlers can be valid with the tassels, and then I was showing how, like, if you really like fall, you can have, like, tassels that looked like leaves, and then, like, antlers, and then kind of have, like, a little bit of a deer element here, right? Entered with the autumn design. Okay, oh, okay, so I'm repeating myself a little, but that's okay. Like a cardboard mask hanging off the Stargazer. You could always do, like, the Kitsune mask thing, right? Where it's on, like, the side of the head. That's always a possibility. Or, like, Anbu, like, in Naruto, right? It's always sort of, like, hanging off the side of the head, and then if they need to, like, quickly put it on, they can. Pretty much the plan? Heck yeah. Have the eye inside inverted color, i.e. black sclera. Oh, that's a good point. Vesa, what did we decide about the black sclera? Shoot. Because Vesa also has black sclera, and I don't think we had... Oh, no, we do. No, Vesa has black sclera, you're right. No, you're right. It's really, really subtle. because most of Vessa's eye design is here in the iris. So the black sclera is like subtle but still apparent. Did you see I called one of my trained suzerain? I did see that, yeah. Stargazers were such sweet children before they discovered the explosives. It doesn't help that one Stargazer has fire for a tail and the other has a fuse for a tail. The game I'm developing for use as parody brands, instead of being called Kamome, I went for Suzerain. Incredible. I'm so glad I had a friend make me 3 whole designs of me. Oh? I feel like the main thing we know about Sekko is that they, like, that's a Abyssal Hunter, right? Abyssal Hunter crew? So making their gazer water or deep ocean theme could be a start. Ooh, did I show that one? Did I show the elemental one? There we go. Yeah, we have elemental, Stargazers as well. I really like the Vessa Gazer. Some fish or whale elements could be a good addition. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we do have elemental Stargazers. They're a bit rarer. They have a little bit of a rare trait. Like, the fact that Newbie's tail is literally just fire is definitely more of a unique thing, right? Definitely more of a unique trait. The tail could be a fluke. Yeah, absolutely. It's more of a rarity, but it absolutely can happen. For reasons I don't want your Stargazer to look like Vaporeon. Yeah, no, that's very understandable. That's very understandable. Anglerfish Gazer, the gem is the angler lore. Oh my gosh. Have it, like, shining in the depths. It's kind of hard to not make a water-type Stargazer feel like a Vaporeon, just because, like, Vaporeon is so well known to everyone. That's the first thing people think of. I tried to not make this look like Vaporeon, but it's not easy. I was considering giving the Rome Gazer a bubble tail. I think I'll probably make it the normal tail with the iridescent accents. Ooh, that could be interesting. I kind of went with, like, making the tail based on the ponytail. Either of those could work, though. I like, Mitsutsune, actually. Or, Mizutsune. That is a tongue twister. That's a little bit of a tongue twister. Accessories attached to the Stargazer related to the, Abyssal Hunter squad, like a pizza cutter or wearing one of their hats. A pizza cutter? What? Out of fin tail and 4 legs, is that Vaporeon? Yeah, exactly. It's not easy. You could have more like a fishtail, though. Wait, where's Vessa's mood board? The other thing is that, like, if you guys can't... I know someone's saying, like, oh, I'll never have a Stargazer because I can't draw. You don't need to be able to draw your Stargazer. You know? You don't need to be able to. Because I think that it should be just as valid to have a mood board. So let me see where that would be. I think it's in Irium? Yeah. I don't think I have the text that goes with it. I don't think I have the text that goes with it. I don't remember now. But for example, Vessa created a mood board for... He has his form as a Stargazer, and then he was trying to help me create, like, another example for people. So if you ever had a mood board, you could do that. And I don't remember his lore now. I'm trying to think if I know where I might have the lore. Hang on a sec. I might have it in a screenshot. Let me see if I have it in a screenshot really quickly. I'm pulling this up separately just in case. Sketch party. Is it... Oh wait, is it? Nope, that's different. Where is the... Does this work? It's like a whole... Okay, wait, I think I have it here, but it's really, really shrunk. Let me see if I can find the full version of it, maybe? Let's see if this works. Yes! Okay. I got it! Alright. Vessa, is it okay if I... Oh. Never mind. Vessa already summarized it while I was trying to find it. You should do the catfish thing with the whiskers hanging off the face and the slightly wider mouth. Slightly wider mouth. What? Spectre's weapon, but less violent. Hang on a sec. Yeah, Stargazer born with weird tail, loves water, became a sort of lifeguard. Okay, let me read off what Vessa wrote, because this goes along with the image, right? So it's not the one that represents him, it's not the one that's like his design. He was just trying to give an example of what you could do if you had a mood board. So it's attached with like the visual here. Hang on a sec, I just lost everything. Hang on a sec, why does it do this to me? Hang on a second here. Nothing's easy, you know that? Nothing's easy. We're still fine, right? Alright, we're still fine. We're still fine. I was trying to get an image and it decided to just destroy everything else I had. That's okay. So this stargazer is named Sunflare. And says Sunflare is a stargazer that is mainly orange and red with other colors mixed in, resembling a beta or a koi fish. He was born with a slightly misshapen tail that allows him to swim easier than most other stargazers. His gemstone resembles a pearl. Like beta fish, he knows he's really colorful and handsome and has an overall smug and slightly pompous personality. Think of Rarity from MLP. Also like beta fish, he prefers to be alone and enjoys quiet and solitude. His role in the Lucinari is to patrol and keep an eye on the various rivers and lakes in the area, and to report any problems he finds. Despite his smug personality in public and generally being thought of as a grumpy old hermit, despite being the same age as the other stargazers, he genuinely cares for Lucinari's community in his own way, so his item of choice is to carry around a small magic whistle that can create a bubble around any living thing and take them back to shore. So he can easily rescue other stargazers, humans, or other creatures that can't swim as well as he can. Wherever there's a big party or celebration near the water, he reluctantly puts his introvertedness aside to be the official lifeguard of the event. Don't worry about the bubble thing, this is before we met Aroma. Dang, I was cooking back then. Yeah, so like, if you don't normally draw, and you just want to have like a description like that and a mood board, like that's totally valid too. I love the Eevee in the middle right, and being at the bottom makes it seem like someone doing a here, take this. Yeah. My keyboard turned into Rebels for a second. His arrival was foretold. There you go. Maybe the reason Vessa bullies me so much is because Aroma Gazer gets the water contaminated with soap. That would do it. My Stargazer would be his main client. Oh no! Oh no! If I said I could try drawing the Stargazer again after you reach some point in the Abyssal Honey's side story thread, what do you think? Why? Is it because that there's, like, some sort of, like, visual that could be a spoiler? Or because, like, you want to explain things? One thing that I will just reiterate again, I said this before, but I just want to make sure that people understand. And, Seko, I think you're fine. I just want to make sure that this is sort of, like, laid out ground rule, right? I want to make sure that people aren't all just making Stargazers that are basically just, like, Arcanite's Operator, but as a Stargazer, or Ike from Fire Emblem, but as a Stargazer. I want to still make sure that everyone has things that are still basically them. Aroma Gazer was something that we've just heard about for a very, very, very long time. But I also want to still make sure that there's, like, that there's things that also fit you, represent you, things you like, right? Even if it's just down to, like, a different color scheme. Or, like, a slightly altered color scheme. I just don't want to create, like, one-to-one copies is all. Self-interest, nothing more? Most certainly nothing more. If Vessa's Stargazer was done today, it would have blue spice eyes and wear a still suit, wouldn't it? What? My duty in Hallucinari is driving trains and being a general nuisance to star in Vessa. Vessa's the one begging me for crystal apples, too. Arknights is the main content right now, but we don't want it to be all of the brand. Yeah, I think that's a good way of saying it. Because, like, yes, I am basically stuck in Terra. As well as Hallucinari, but Hallucinari is still a part of me. Hallucinari is still, like, where all the Stargazers are, being in the atelier and everything. As much as I do get stuck in the rabbit hole that is Terra. I am very, very, very much stuck into Terra. I didn't realize how large Amiya's book, or multiple books, was. But yeah, I still want Stargazers to stand on their own too, as, like, general community, right? The important role of keeping the chain of supply alive. While you were yapping, I drew a Stargazer doodle. I'm unsure what channel it should be shared in. That's actually a very good question, because I really need to get back to having an official channel for Stargazer stuff. It's something that I tried setting up, but then people were sort of using it as, like, a second general channel somehow. So we kind of have to, we should probably establish that. Just some Dune musings? I see. Okay. Does Arknights, but is not an Arknights tuber, basically, yeah. I would say it is still the vast majority of what I am doing at this moment. Both in game and art and interest level, for sure. That is definitely a thing. But I also do I do, like, commissions, I do things with Stargazers, I do mainly other art-related things. I have played other games in the past, just not that much. What was it? Cinnabunny and Smushy? So yeah, Arknights is definitely still, like, probably the current main focus, and it's probably not gonna change for quite a while. But I wouldn't say that it's, like, 100% of who I am, right? Like, I'm probably not gonna make it, like, all or nothing. I think that makes sense. Lisan Alkaiser. Oh my gosh. Cheeriling time? Alright, Dual Thrones. Have a good one. RP as Stargazer channel? What do you mean by that? How many polls do you intend on doing for the Vulpus banner? I don't know, to be honest. Yeah, Vulpus and Vivi. I'm a little scared, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little scared. We can do it forum-based, that way every facing post is the image or mood board and description, but then comments can be left along inside without being too obtrusive. See, Newbie, I like the general idea, and I think we should definitely do that, for, like, a Stargazer Dex type of deal. There's just two problems with that. One, sometimes people end up updating their design, and then it's annoying when the cover isn't accurate. And two, I think forums still intimidate people. I think forums still intimidate people a lot, unfortunately. As many as it takes, / until she runs out of Canva funds, whichever comes first. I mean, like, I want to see if we can get them both. I'm just a little nervous with the... It's still our best shot that we're probably ever gonna get, right? Because, like, there's no off-right, and it's still, like... We're not going to have, like, an official Vulpus and Vivi banner anytime soon. Forum scary. Yeah, I should just, like, revive the current one that we had and just clean it up a little bit. And then, like, just make it visible again until I can figure out what we should actually try to do here. I'm close to getting involved in the writing forum for my world building around the Ice Nine creature. Oh no. Oh goodness. 33% as opposed to 25% outside of like 6-star selectors. Yeah, I really feel like it's our best chance, as scary as it still is. Cause it's the thing, right? Like, if it was just like, oh, 30% to like... Well, I don't know. I don't know. Don't pick stainless. I don't want to be stainless. I still think that that's such a good alter name, though. Because, like, aroma cleaning means there's no stains. So it's, like, still such a good alter. Only the 3 you selected on the banner. Yeah, I really feel like it is the best bet. Also, the fact that Vivi and Vulpes are on the same banner just seems, like, very wild to me in terms of chances. I gave you Angelina. Oh, Seko. We will grab Scotty at some point. We will grab Scotty, don't worry. Scissor was like 25%, I forced you to roll for her and you won. I'll fight fate so you'll get Vulpes, trust, and hopefully VV too. I definitely want to see if we can get VV as well. What? The aroma pull is legendary after you watch it over 90 times. Aroma's gonna set it to their ringtone or something crazy. Make the 3rd pick logos. They either win the one you want most, a cool one for Sim 0, and the consolation prize would be an OP op, so it's win-win-win. I don't need OP op though. I don't need like crazy OP, honestly. I don't want to go for anyone who's like severely broken, right? And from what I understand is they are severely broken. I really don't care if it's Scotty or Laurentina, aka Spectre. Do you have a preference though, Seko? Do you have a preference, or is that like first choice and second choice? You do need Orderer? I don't need Orderer. I don't need to go to the slot machines. He actually conflicts hard with Blaze, Alt U, and Warmy. Ironically, Logos is an iffy choice. Really? Interesting. He's not severely broken, he's just very good. I've literally seen people say he's broken. I'm not being stubborn. Stubborn as a rubber band? A rubber band is flexible. A rubber band is flexible, Raoul. You chose the one item that made the least amount of sense. It's flexible, but it snaps back. What? Why do Raoul and Vessa share the same? What the heck, guys? Oh my god. Oh my gosh. I still vote for the 3 blonde banner. I think that's funny. I think that's funny. I haven't seen Silent Spirit in a long time, but I did promise to eventually try for one of the lions, so. What is happening with Stargazer neurons today? We're becoming a hive mind. Oh my gosh. 3 blondes all starting with V is priceless. It really is. It really is. I feel like I could do like something with like, I don't know. I could do like some cute image of the 3 of them like holding up peace signs that look like V's or something. I don't know, that would be funny. You lied? What do you mean you lied? What do you mean you lied? What do you mean by that? Lois doesn't conflict with you, Blaze, all in Warmy? Oh, okay. He conflicts with them and me! Okay, so clearly Logos just should not ever be on our team. Sounds like he would not get along with anyone that we are trying to go for. Also, newbie, for the upcoming selector, I'm probably gonna pick Warmy as one of the 5 stars so that we can add you to the stream nights. Wait, newbie, do you like Warmy or Rope more? Do you have a preference of the two? Yeah, Vessa can try for Logos, that works. That's amazing though. I think it's funny that, like, for the most part, I think I'm pairing fairly decently. I'm still trying to learn how to pair Kyobai and Suzerain better, but it's like, it's hard for me to see what the differences are. But slowly I'm starting to understand, I think. Slowly but surely. The main part of his kit is that he has necrosis? Oh, well then I'll wait until I eventually someday do the scary thing with, Valarkvin. I just realized this got a little messed up. There we go. Right now, Hyobai and Suzu work good. Yeah, I think that I really like how nicely they pair together. But yeah. Anyway, does anyone else have, like, Stargazer questions, or design concept questions, or, lore questions, or anything like that? Because I'm really glad that we were sort of able to lay this out. Because I've been wanting to sort of solidify the feeling a little bit more. I'm also somewhat trying to figure out if there should be, like, any meaning behind the choices. Like, the deep burrows idea I severely love, but I'm wondering if there's any, like, deeper meaning behind, like, choices of fire or water or horns or, you know, size of ears or something like that. I'm curious if there's, like, anything that would kind of make sense to you guys. Are things like the scarf and tail leaving behind smoke or mist fine? I think so. By scarf, do you mean like what Newbie did? Like with the, like with this thing? Was just element not allowed? It's just rare. It's just very rare. Originally Stargazers had more of like a rarity system going on. Like different things were, Stargazers originally had more of an aspect of a closed species, which is a thing in old art forums, where you basically had to try to, like, do artwork to earn certain traits and earn certain rarities. But now, like a gacha, kind of? It was more like you tried to like do events to get there. Kind of like a gacha, actually. Yeah, there were chances to, like, gain rare traits, essentially. Legendary Stargazer. So one of the rarities of the traits was, elemental pieces being, like, a natural part of your design. So, like, Newbie's tail being fire was one of those. That is Prism, yeah. Prism's a 6-star. So I originally also showed you, like, yeah, I'll show you guys this. I'll show you guys this. This is fine. So I showed you that Prism originally had a different form, a different looking design. Originally, Stargazers were not all limited to bunnies, and Stargazers also did not have tassels as their main element. Tassels ended up being the main design that sort of tied them all together. But originally, it was just like a herd of animals and crystals, and what ended up happening is it got so varied that it started feeling less like a VTuber community and more like a Pokemon region. And I don't think that worked, honestly. I think it's this one? No, that's not. Yeah, this one. Once upon a time, I made a really large chart that contributed to my carpal tunnel. And each color-coded thing was, like, a different, like, idea, concept. And they started corresponding with rarity and everything. I would have been a cat, but I'm still happy with how I am now. That's why we gave you basically a cattail. I'm gonna get a snack and now there's a Stargazer, a Snoopy specimen. Do the elements mean anything to you? Mine is pseudo-fire theme, but his personality conflicts with the typical interpretation of a fire-based character. Ooh, my interest is piqued. Yeah. Once upon a time, I gave myself, like, a little bit of a contribution to carpal tunnel. We're not doing that again. But someday I would like to remake this chart in a way that makes sense with the modern Stargazer. This is like this is the beta Stargazer. This is like the original concept of the Stargazer, right? So essentially, I told you before, is like they're basically made out of like the wishes of magic, using a powerful spell combining light, stardust, crystals, and creativity. As a result, all Stargazers have a crystal on their forehead that represents their spirit. They can be any singular color and natural shape oh yeah, that's the other thing, besides a 5-pointed star, because, well, you know, that would be a little bit awkward. Even Prism doesn't have a 5-pointed star gemstone. But they are formed from a star-shaped crystal, and that is why it can't be a 5-point star. All the Stargazers sort of have, like, this crystal, star-shaped crystalline cocoon, essentially. And then it's brought to life through spell work. So yeah, basically, the idea with Stargazers is that, like, in Illusionari, they are creatures called Wandering Wisps. Those who've lost their magic after all the lands were destroyed by the legendary Dark Dragon. The wisps who choose... bleh. The wisps who choose to follow a falling star, which is myself, essentially, are granted a wish to be reborn in order to regain their magic, and in turn help to heal the land itself. These are the Stargazers. But yeah, so essentially, like, the idea is that Stargazers are sort of born from this magic, this sort of chrysalis of potential. Tank Dragon's always messing up our stuff. Forgot to spoiler it. Spoil what? Spoiler what? What do you mean spoiler? What? Wait, what did I say? What is wrong? I'm confused now. What did I do? What? Spoiler what? You spoilered the lore? What? I figured that most people would not- my gosh, fine! I figured most people wouldn't read through 30 pages, but sure. That's the summary, you guys, that's the summary. That's the summary. I figured most people aren't gonna sit through 30 pages. If you want to sit through 30 pages, then have fun. You can. I'd love to see what you think of it. I'd love to see what you think of the work that Lady Red has done. It's in my About Me section channel. Read through them all the first night. There you go. Look, I didn't... Fine. Fine. If I can't talk about it, then you guys have to read it. That's how it works. That's how it works. If I can't talk about it, then you guys have to read it. Yeah, it's less than an hour. It's about like a half hour of reading. It's around a half hour. I was going to read it on stream during Starfall, but I kind of figured that a half hour reading of Arknights, no problem. A half hour reading my own lore, probably a problem. I still want to read them. Luckily, I was paying zero attention just now, so I'm still 100% unspoilered. Oh my gosh. Cruel and unusual punishment? Oh my gosh. Hi! A Starlight vignette lengthwise. There you go. There you go. It's a vignette length. That is more than 30 minutes. I don't know how... different reading lengths for different people, I suppose. I don't know. But if you want to read it, it's in the About Me section. It's the last thing posted in the About Me section. If you want to read it. But yeah, essentially, like... essentially, this was the old concept for Stargazers. There's a lot that's been added and changed. This is kind of where the, I lost my pen. Where did my pen go? Why don't I have my... where'd my pen go? What? I don't have a pen anymore. Did I always have... did I always lose my pen? I don't have a pen anymore. Hang on. Can I get my pen back here? There we go! This rarity of traits was kind of how the tassels came to be. And then it ended up going from rare to required. But yeah. So essentially there's a lot of ability and variety. Originally, accessories were limited to like things found in nature, to then like cloth and simple things, and then like rarity being jewelry. Wings were like an uncommon trait. Different types of tails with extra layers of fur on them. This would kind of be the equivalent of like spikes or something. There were just a lot of changes and additions. Things that were more like aquatic or shaped like another creature. Those were like non-mammalian traits had like a special rarity. It was going to be RPG, exactly. It was going to be RPG mechanics. Exactly, that's a good way to sum it up. And then there was only one prismatic Stargazer, and that was literally just Prism. But yeah. Wings, yeah. But yeah, I hopefully that makes sense, right? Hopefully it makes sense. Besahash. Let's see how your dice roll pans out? What? What dice roll? I wonder if the Aroma Gazer having iridescent stuff would conflict with Prism. No, iridescence is fine. It's mainly just like not a full RG, Roy G. Biv style. So, like, a Stargazer's main crystal can always flash rainbow iridescence as long as the main color is the most present. Prismatic is like the full Roy G. Biv scale. So, like, every element very, very strongly. What? The roll succeeds in what you don't yet know? You feel like it somehow ends in explosions. What? Slam Zero, what are you doing? Insert drawing Aroma Gazer and Prism staring angrily at each other. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like Sheen's sheer iridescence is fine. It's just like you're not going with like a whole like strong rainbow Roy G. Biv. You're joking about when I said it was gonna be RPG mechanics. I'm sorry, I can't. My brain can't keep up. I'm sorry, I'm not able to understand the rolling with a D20 for my special trait. Originally, it had, like, RPG mechanics in the sense of, like, Neopets, in the sense of, like, it was going to be a lot more gamified. It was going to be a lot more gamified in the sense of being able to, like, evolve your design. And that's kind of what mainly changed, is that there's not as much evolution of design, because the game mechanics of evolving a design pretty much relied entirely on doing drawings. And that probably doesn't appeal to most people, I think. So it ended up being scrapped. And now it's just a lot simpler because it's more based on a VTuber community than an entire me trying to create some sort of word text document of, like, a Pokemon game. I'm curious now, Star, what made you like foxes so much? I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that. What made you like wolves so much? You're just gonna say aroma, never mind. I don't know, why do humans like humans so much? I've always loved foxes and thought aroma's a wolf. Foxes are still my favorite animal. I see. Well, okay, then what made you like foxes? Starsoft Fox and said I vibe with this. I've always been one. I don't know what you mean. I'm just asking? I don't know, like, I guess the humans also like being humans, right? I've always liked the fox and the hound as a kid. Fair. Loved foxes since the vids about Finnegan the fox. Oh. Yeah, but that, I can understand that. That's valid. You like humans for evolutionary reasons. There you go. Also, hello, welcome back, Usako. My previous master was really into rabbits. It kind of rubbed off on me. Ah. Oh, literally. I do believe I have currently made the most community doodles, hence the Void Gazer must be the most involved Stargazer, yes. I mean, you're literally, like, controlling black holes. I don't think you need to get any more OP than that. Humans like being humans? Patently untrue for a fair part of your community. Fair. Where do I upload my creation? I'm still, like, trying to figure out what to do about that on the sense of Discord. I think I just need to, like... I don't know how I should handle this. Like, I haven't really figured out how to handle the actual Stargazer aspect of the Discord, if that makes sense. Because I feel like... I'll put his in Starlight Chat for now? Okay, yeah, that's fine. I think that works as a temporary. Eventually I do want to somehow evolve it into something more. I just don't know what it is. And you guys could probably help me with that. You guys can probably tell me, like, what you think makes the most sense. Because I know forums are too intimidating for people, but I do want to at some point have, like, a dex. I think it would be cool to have, like, a dex, like, giving everybody, like a showcase. But yeah. Either make a dedicated Stargazer channel or just dump them in sketches. I feel like they do get lost if they're in the sketches. That's the only thing. So, like, I just don't know how... I don't know how to do that. Have you thought about asking for feedback? I'm trying to. I really want the community's feedback. I'm just not good at asking about it. I kind of beat around the bush a little bit, and I'm sorry about that. Saga has a crazy Stargazer design? Yeah, I kind of went over, though, that Stargazers need to not be entirely made of metal. That's the main thing, though. It is a really cool, like, visual. It is a very cool concept in visual. I just sort of want to make sure that everything stays, like, fairly consistent. But still allowing, like, a decent amount of creativity. You know, more so than I was showing with the, like, Doki Bird's designs, where everybody is a chicken. A chicken with dragon horns. But yeah. I think that's sort of the main thing. Her face isn't metal, that means it's legal. Is it just, like, all armor? I mean, that's the thing, like, is there a whole Stargazer underneath? I mean, that's the main thing, is I still want everything, I want everything to be, like, consistent and recognizable. You can't tell a mecha artist not to draw metal, but I can say that things have to be, like, armor, right? I can say that things need to be armor and not, like, the entire creature, right? Like Vessa was saying, Vessa's an android, but Vessa has, like, a regular Stargazer design. Vessa is a full android. That was one thing that we were discussing earlier. Is, like, Vessa is fully android, and yet this is his design as a Stargazer. We basically just use the traits of his twin tails and the color palette of his clothing. A mecha piloted by a Stargazer. A non-removable power armor, but still power armor? If it's not removable, it's not really armor. Neo's a ghost robot, but has regular Stargazer. Exactly, yeah. I love Neo's design so much. Oh, let me show you. Hopefully Neo won't mind. Hopefully Neo won't mind, because this is really good. Neo did a really, really elegant design. Yeah, Neo is a ghost robot, but this is Neo's design as a Stargazer, and it's so elegant. Like, if there's like a Stargazer fashion magazine, Neo would be on the cover. Look at this. Look at this design. This is so elegant. I love this design so much. Neo seriously knocked it out of the park. I know, it's very different between, like, the derpy face that you saw in Eve's painting, but, like, Neo did such a nice job with this design. I really, really love it. The shape language is just so, so beautifully done, honestly. So yeah, like, in regular situation, Neo is a ghost android connected with a bunch of wires and PC parts. But as a Stargazer, we basically just worked with the shape language and the color scheme. And it works. So we have a non-zero amount of androids who have Stargazer designs now that I'm thinking about it. Or how my amorphous massive shadow turns into really matte dark black fur. Exactly, exactly. That's the thing, like, a Stargazer is meant to be a symbol of this community, right? So, I'm not stopping anyone from, like, making character designs that they just want to make for the fun of it, but a Stargazer specifically is meant to, like, fit in with the community with all the other Stargazer designs. And I think that you can still have a good amount of flexibility, while still, like, making sure that everything is cohesive. Like we had before with, is this the... Where's Eve's piece here? This is also the same Stargazer! Can you believe that this is the same creature? It's so... it's lovely. It's really lovely. You feel intimidated? It's so good, though. We have a few androids and a few ghosts. We do! We've got, like, we've got Reapers and ghosts and androids, and yet they all sort of, like, have their way of working in. Lillian is actually a spider. I don't know if anyone knows that. Lillian Harper, that you sometimes see, torturing me in the server, Lillian is actually a spider. So what did Lillian do? Lillian made a Stargazer with a larger belly that sort of subtly felt like the spider's, like the back of the spider, right? Made it a little larger to, like, give the vibe of a spider. I don't know spider anatomy. But Lillian is a spider, and yet made the Stargazer element work. Also, like, look at the split of the tassel. It kind of gives it, like, that thinner leg, like, multiple leg feeling. Abdomen. Thank you. The spider abdomen. So instead of doing, like, some crazy... Lillian loves horror, and I'm sure that if she had been allowed to, she would have loved doing, like, a crazy spider-themed Stargazer crossover. But instead, she was like, no, I want to have the spider abdomen, but the best way I could do that is having, like, a bigger chest as a design element. And then Lillian still fits in, and it's subtle enough and it works. That was just a cute tummy? That's what she wants you to think. Killer, can't you killed Neo and replaced her with a double for that image? No, it was just funny. I think it was based on the emote she made, because like when we did the Prism emote, Neo did like a Neo emote, and then people were like, keep her face that way for the illustration. The green eyes, jewels / jewelry, it's like spider eyes. Yeah, exactly, right? It's like, Lillian actually does that when she's texting. She'll do, instead of like an OWO expression, she'll do OOWOO. It's so good. He was a broken cat girl angel, and here she is no more than a broken angel. And we still kept, like, we kept the yin-yang because of the idea that she's, like, absolutely chaotic. We kept her signature halo, right? And then we still have, like, this, gold gem, because the gold gem reflects with the halo nicely. Would have been really interesting to have a really big poofy tail shaped like a spider's abdomen. I mean, it is pretty poofy. It is pretty poofy. I know for a fact my design would have to be mangled beyond recognition if I just condensed them into a normal lagomorph, and at that point, an Usako-based Stargazer would just be, waifu but white. I mean, you can still have little elements that nod to it here and there. Also, Lady Red's a vampire. Part of that comes across with the gem being a blood drop shape. Yeah, exactly. Oh, also, I love... Lady Red did such a good job with this. You see how this is, like, sort of, folded with, like, a line here? Lady Red's tassels are actually vampire wings. Let me see if I have her image here. Look at this. Look at this! You've got the blood drop, teardrop shape, and then the tassels have this fold on them so that it's like vampire wings. You can be really, really creative with this. Like, or like Void said, right? Like, he's also basically just represented with a mask, and yet he did like this black and white thing with gravity and black holes and sort of a third eye. I never noticed the tassels or wings. That's so smart. I know, right? I love it so much. And, like, Lillian knows that I was trying to go for something that was, like, more- not Lillian, Lady Red knows that I was trying to go for something a little bit more cute and a little less, dark and spooky. Because Lady Red will go full dark and spooky. So instead of, like, black and red, she did, like, pink, maroon, and teal. And it works. I think I even told her, like, you can go with, like, a charcoal if you want, and she's like, no, I like this. I can't believe that thing in the image is the same Neo, and you won't be able to gaslight me. It's funny, though. My idea would have to be really spiky hair shaped like the metal bits on the... My idea... Blank says, my idea would be to have the really spiky hair shaped like metal bits on the mecha design. That could be interesting. I went for that dark indigo for the same reason. Yeah. Yeah, because one thing that I had in the original concept here was like, where is it? Like, here? I said that Stargazers usually pastel or bright colors. Think MLP color scheme. They can be any color with any fur pattern except a full rainbow, because that's Prism. And then when I said pastel or bright, everyone's like, oh great, we all have to be candy colored. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I want to show you guys, if you want to make a character that is like dark, I mean again, like look at Blank, but if you want to make a character that looks dark and scary, but not full-on horror theme, this is how you do it. I can't think of any better example than this character design. Like, this is peak character design in terms of, like, scary, but not intensely insane, right? Let me see if I have it here. Yeah, okay. Okay, Chrysalis from My Little Pony is like the absolute best example of combining colors and schemes and everything to make it spooky and scary and creepy, but still work in a lighthearted fantasy environment. It is one of the best designs for this concept, by far. For my part, I know I wanted to lean into very cute, but quite unsettling, which is one of my favorite things. Exactly, yeah. Like, this charcoal is like, it's almost black, but it's just light enough to not be like purely in the dark, right? So then it's like, you're also balancing it, instead of just having like pure black. Like, Blank, for example, had like charcoal and then white, and it was a really great balance of like a grayscale image. And then Chrysalis, for example, is like super dark, super scary, and then is balanced with the lime or with the turquoise or with the cyan. And it has a very, very good overall balance. Astalos? Hmm? She drowned to like before appearing on screen in some meadows. Goodness. I don't know Astalos. I don't think I know what that is. But yeah, do you see how like you can still have the spooky scary? And you can still make it work for something that is like more on the lighter fantasy side. Astalos is a monster in Monster Hunter. Oh, okay. Gotcha. I don't know all the the palettes similar. Alright, let me look at this. Oh, I see. Yeah. That's actually a really good example. Because it's like, I'm trying to find one that isn't fan art. So like, let's change the canvas here. This is just really great in terms of like just learning character design, right? Especially like for different media. So, okay, Astalos and Monster Hunter, right? You have something that is like basically shares the same bug wings element, basically shares the same like dark patterned skin element, but you have so many more like detailed rendering, detailed sharp triangular sharp ideas, sharp spikes everywhere, layers and layers and layers here. And then like you have Chrysalis, who has a little bit of armor on her boots, a little bit of armor on her chest, and then the chest armor is meant to evoke the feeling of like exoskeleton of a bug, right? She's supposed to be like a bug-like creature. So this little part of her is the exoskeleton of a bug. She's meant to evoke a bug imagery without like scaring little girls. And it works so well. And it's this balance of like, what is the basis of your branding? Are you trying to go for something that is geared toward a younger audience? Are you trying to go for something that's geared toward an older audience? Do you have a story that you want to tell? And it's like, it's so similar, but it does a really great job of like splicing the two feelings for your demographic. So Stargazers sort of being like more lighthearted, happy, fun, cute, aside from whatever the heck goes down in the burrows, would lean more towards that MLP idea of like, if you wanted a bug motif, you can do this like exoskeleton feeling. And it works really, really well. I'm sorry, I fangirl over MLP because I think that the character design aspects that they use are so well done. They're so effective. She do have an insecty look about her, yeah, but it's subtle, and it works. And that subtlety and making it work, I think, is what makes a design so interesting, right? Like we were saying before with Lady Red's tassels being wings, that is smart. That is smart design. I love that kind of stuff. Monster Hunter designs go insanely deep in biology? Oh, I'm sure they do. I'm sure it's like Star Wars in terms of deep biology. I dropped the only Monster Hunter that I played after I found an ape that I could not surpass. I've seen the Fatalis and it looks great. Yeah, no, Monster Hunter designs are really, really beautiful. I would imagine that it's very similar to how the Star Wars designs was made. I have some books that are based on, like, what is it called? Imaginative realism. And it's, the designer is so brilliant in figuring out the biology and dimorphism and everything of what these Star Wars creatures are. And I think that Monster Hunter probably does something very, very similar. But yeah, I mean, this makes sense, right? Like, you can still do a lot. You can still do a lot. And I think that there's a lot to be said for this kind of design. So I need to finish the last 2 aroma drawings. It's not that I'm lazy, though I am. There's so many other things I want or have to do. Yeah, don't worry, don't worry. You did a lot. You did a lot of them, Raoul. Don't worry. Can you check out, Mizutsune? Just this one. It's a very fox-inspired monster. Alright. I think I've seen this one. Yeah, this is very, like, this, I definitely like this design. Tiny! There we go. I can see the fox face a bit on it. I really like the fin design, the iridescence of the fin design. It's a bubble fox dragon soap thing. Incredible. I see why you love it so much. I see why you love it so much, Raoul. If people want to create designs for having trouble, I'm sure we can help people in the server brainstorm ideas and refine designs, if asked. Bunny with heart emote. Yeah, absolutely. And again, for anyone who just straight up doesn't want to, my files aren't labeled. For anyone who just does not want to, I can't find it! Oh my gosh, I'm going through everything now. Where is it? I lost Vessa's mood board, I don't know why. Well, anyway, you guys saw the mood board. If you don't want to draw and you'd rather make a mood board, that's completely valid. I wonder why you like the design. I do like the brush-like tail. I do like the iridescence. I think this also, like, this illustration has very good, like, dynamic composition, too. I'm not very well versed in animal design, so basic bunny structure would be appreciated. At one point, I wanted to do, like, a Pixiv thing, but I think that Pixivs take a long time to make. Would it help if I just made, like, a 2-legged and 4-legged, like, base? Like, a very quick line art base to draw over? Would that help people? Yeah? I didn't see the mood board. Let me see if I can find the mood board. There we go. There's the mood board. This is the mood board. Picrew is like a dress-up game, and sometimes people use it for things beyond dress-up stuff. That would really help, like, a lot? Okay. Is there anything, like, okay, so when you do, like, a Picrew thing, a lot of it is drawn for you already. Like, you pick certain ears, you pick certain tails, it's essentially. Would it be okay if I just did, like, I don't think, it would take a long time if I drew, like, every possible tail, every possible antler, every possible ear. Would it be okay if I just had, like, the general base of the body with, like, no appendages? And then it allowed you guys freedom to add whatever you wanted there? Would that be alright with you? Build a case or workshop! There you go. Just a base? Super generic? Okay. Do not take a long time. Alright. Let me see. So, if we did, like... I'll clean this up. But... maybe allow the community to contribute parts? That'll be interesting. The most generic stuff you can imagine. So, let me see. If I just had, like... obviously, I will clean this up. We've got, like, our little bean body here. And if we just did, like... have something like this, and it could show, like, a paw color. Make sure it had, like, the same type of nose. You'd have to make sure to remember to add a gemstone here. And then some sort of, like, I could do, like, maybe 2 different types of eyes. One where it's, like, larger, and others where it's, like, thinner. Or something like that. Something like that, and then... could have one where it's, like... you would not have to do both. Just whatever one worked best. Just something like that, but a little bit cleaner? Does that work? Picros are kind of too restrictive. One of the reasons I hated using them even when I couldn't draw. Picros are so restrictive because you have to do, like, every little variant of everything, and it is annoying. Maybe put an X where the gemstone is so people don't forget? Okay, that's fair. People, like, remember to add it. That's a good point, though. People, like... people, including myself, usually forget to add them. I don't know why, they're just easier to forget. I'm not sure why. Deep philosophical discussion. Looks like a Doro? Oh no, let's not go there! Potato Stargazer? Oh dear. I could also have, like, I can also make this, like, a turn on and off thing. This little ruff of fur, because I know that this can be a little harder to draw. So I can also do a turn off and on ruff of fur. But yeah, something like that. If I get that done in, like, the next day or two. Star, I've completed my design and will help form other Stargazers. Starglaze. What? Also background, suicide tail belt is... what am I reading here? What? Goodness. Is there other, like, elements that you think would be helpful to have here? That I could just do as, like, an on-off thing? You want a mustache? Oh my gosh. And again, like, you would not have to do both. This is just to show that rabbits can stand on 2 legs and 4. I'm scared. Maybe a guide for where the ears and the floppy things go? What if I did, like, a... I mean, because I don't know what people are gonna do for ears, but if I did something like this... does this help? I don't want people to just trace this. This is just sort of like the general idea of what it is and where it is, I guess. Does this help? I don't know if this is helpful or not. Patchwork Stargazer? Quilty? Oh my gosh. Alright, okay, we can do that. We can... Sometimes it's hard to know, like, what I don't know about, like, where people's, where people could be helped to the most, you know? So any input that you guys have is helpful. This does not mean that the tail has to be short, or that the tassels have to be this shape, or the ears have to be this shape, or whatever. This is just guidelines. Looks like one of those cut puzzles at the back of a cereal box. I'd only use the body shape. It saves a ton of time when you use an MS Paint. Alright. Sounds good. I am good with that. I need to make like a little, like, I don't know. Name. Colors. Make like a really, make like a really fast reference sheet ability, you know? Traits. Something like that. You have like a very quick ref. Vessa! Is a sword tail armor plate legal? I can't put that together in my head enough to know. Sword tail armor plate. Sword tail armor plate? I'm not really sure how that works. Like, something like that, and then like the tail underneath, like I feel like I just drew an armadillo. Donald made a Stargazer with a sword. It looks really good and fits. Ooh, I'm excited. The tail can be elemental, right? Yeah, at this point, like, the rarities aren't really, a thing. It's just sort of in lore, it would be less common. Completely covering the tail? I think the tail should show in some form. They're really just having the tail, having a sword attached over it as armor. I'm a little confused. A Glavenus? I don't know what that is. What have you commented on Stuckler and Daho's Stargazer on stream? They're in the Starlight chat channel right now. Are you guys okay with that? Are you guys alright with me doing that? Showing it off or asking about it or stuff like that? What is a Stargazer? Star's personal shoulder demon. I'm curious if it's alright to show. There's a lot of gray. There's a lot of gray. Hang on. I'm gonna have to catch up on chat. Oh dear. Did someone just make fan art of the triangle? Oh my gosh. I swear. Hang on a sec. Alright, hang on. Star said on stream there's no official channel, so for the time being I'll share it here. Okay, let me see here. Ooh, wait, I'm curious about this. So this is Daho's. Wait, did Daho say it was okay? Alright, Psycho, have a good rest of your night. Thank you very much for stopping by. I'm pretty sure they're fine with me speaking for them. I don't know if she's still in here? Alright, I'll, oh, wait. Does my boy be nice to me special? I love him. Wait, I'm so curious. Hang on. Alright, Stockler, I'm posting this now. Hang on a sec. Wait, new, there we go. Alright. So this one is Stockler's. I like the design. I just see one issue. Does anyone know what the issue might be? Other than that, I think it's a good design, but does anyone know what the issue could be here? Still adding the tassels. Okay. Okay, in that case, there's no issue. In that case, you're all good. We told him? Okay. Stalker's on it? Don't worry. Sounds good. Noted. Alright, I won't tease you about that then. So what the heck were you talking about with the tail? You said a grenade chestplate on the tail. You said something about like a suicide. What was that? Can you explain what that was? So we've got something interesting. It's not just heterochromia, it's like two different style of eyes. We've got like some interesting patterning on the fur. We've got like some sort of like spotting or leopard. And then I like the hat with the... I'm not entirely sure what type of hat this is. Everyone's thinking the same thing. Read the lore? Hang on. I saw, that's my boy, be nice to him, he's special, I love him. Where's the lore? He fell down the stairs and damaged his eye, oh no! Tactical tail belt. Tactical tail belt. Ooh. Wait, so it can like hold things? He looks like a cool guy. He does look like a cool guy. I think black and white looks cool, and yellow came with Blitz helmet? Blitz helmet. Wait, I don't know what the helmet is, but I think it works. He looks like a cool guy, yeah. Tactical assault Pikachu. Oh my gosh. What the heck? Oh my gosh. Whelp also has a really good design, but I also don't know if I have permission to share it, but these are so cute. Blitz is from Rainbow Six? Oh, okay. Pikachu if they learned explosion. Oh, Whelp, am I allowed to show this off as well? Is that okay? You can share it? Alright. Ooh, I want to know about the tassels. Wait, I'm very curious. Stockler, I like this a lot. I feel bad that he fell down the stairs and damaged his eye, but I like this a lot still. I'm excited to see it with the tassels later. Also, I didn't mean to tease you about it. But I do like this. Alright, let's see here. Okay, so we've got sort of like, it's a little bit like, ooh, is it Red Panda based? Because I recognize these types of ears as being like more Red Panda-like. And then the striped tail? Is it kind of Red Panda-ish? It is super cute, oh my gosh. Is it, oh, it's an opal, right? Is the gemstone an opal? And we have like a moon fur pattern. Raccoon, okay. I was going to say raccoon, but the ears made me think Red Panda, and I was like, I have a 50-50 shot at this. I lost the 50-50, but that's okay. But yeah, this is, I love this. This is super cool. So can you tell me about these tassels? Because the tassels look interesting. I'm curious about what the tassels are doing. One of the operators that got a crossover to AK during the collab event? Oh, okay. Noted. Are they trash bags? Is that what it is? Oh my gosh. Is it like... Is it like trash bag raccoon design? So then the choice of the opal? The choice of the opal is interesting, right? Because if we think like a raccoon and like a sort of trash bag motif, you wouldn't immediately think of an opal. So there must be some sort of reason behind that, right? Like, one person's trash is another's treasure. It's because she's silly and they get damaged. Oh my gosh. You and Stockler both are like, yeah, they got a little bit of banged up, but they're good. They're all good. Trash Panda affectionate, yeah. I love how you and Stockler are like, yeah, it's all good. What doesn't kill him makes him stronger. Opal because it's your birthstone. Ooh, I like that. Some stargazers have a gem color that blends with the rest of their color palette. Others have one where it stands out a lot. This is a good example of the latter. Mm-hmm, for sure. I really like that, yeah. I love that that's your birthstone too. I really love opal. I mean, you know, it's kind of obvious why someone looking like me would like opal, but yeah. I really like that. And I really like the contrast that Vessel was mentioning too. Also, the patterning with the moon shape with the fur is really nice. You have an idea for your aroma gazer? She'll have the bubble wand like the bean, and the trail of bubbles. When she runs, it'll come from the wind forming bubbles from the wand. Ooh, interesting, interesting. I really like the moon fur pattern, yeah. This is really cute. I love the like, you know, battered adventurer have tassels. I think that's really cool. I feel like this Stargazer is definitely like exploring a lot, you know? I think Daho left, Aroma pinged her in the server, but it's probably okay to show the design on stream. Alright, hopefully? I still think it's cool. I won't be able to ask for clarification on it, but yeah, if it's alright to show, hopefully. This is also a good example of like the how to utilize weaponry in the design too. Let me see if there's any like notes that I should know about it. 2 doodles are too near, misjudged the right side of the doodle. Now that's all good. Alright, Daho, I hope this is alright. I mean, this is the side channel. Alright. There we go. So this one is Daho's design. And we have, like, a Stargazer that can balance on a sword, which is really interesting. And they can also hold it in their mouths as a weapon. But it's interesting that they can, like, dance on the sword. And sort of, like, I feel like this could be used as, like, some sort of movement. I'm getting, like, Kung Fu Panda vibes from this, if that makes sense. And also, this is, like, our first Stargazer that took advantage of the horn idea, right? So we've got, like, fangs and horns. And then I'm really curious as to what the color would be. Eventually, I'm curious what the color design would be. But yeah, we have the cool horn design, and then we've got the tassels. And in this case, the tassels feel more like, lop ears because of the horn. And also wears clothes, yeah! True! True, Stargazer with a sweater. I don't know why, but the design reminds me of the Chinese lion design, sort of. I kind of get that feeling, too. I think it might be the horns and the fangs. I love the giant sword. It helps the design feel more cute. Yeah. It's like it's like the contrast. It's like the contrast of size. Size contrast is used a lot in character design, so if you have something, like, really small and cute holding a giant thing, it works really well. Oh, can we talk about, look at this! The ears are so long that they, like, or the tassels are so long that they, like, flop on the ground. She said the hoodie is supposed to be the fur pattern rather than actual clothes. Oh, okay. I feel like I saw a little bit of it, extruding from here, so I wasn't entirely sure. Is it kind of like a lamb difference? Like, some of the fur is longer? Black fur in the shape of a hoodie. I'm curious. That's cool. Oh! Hello, Doe! Welcome in again. In chat, playing something else. Okay, no worries. So it's got, like, a lamb pattern. That's really cool. Mischievous little rascal. A mix of those in my PvP, and one of the Arknight's characters, Nymph. I often change horns in different doodles I do. I feel these match the Stargazer format more than the others I usually did. I like it a lot. I won't interrupt you if you're busy right now, but I think this is really fun. Also, I really like the idea of like, basically dancing on the lawn sword, right? It kind of reminds me of the rat in Okami. I don't know if you've seen that, but the rat in Okami has, like, you know, tiny body and then carries gigantic sword. And I think that is, I think that kind of gives me a similar feeling here, and I really like it. Also, I like the idea of the fur pattern. I'm curious to see this in color at some point in the future, if you ever get around to it. Couch is gonna post his also? Alright. We're basically posting everybody's at this point here. I still love this so much. I love this so much. This also has such a good backstory. So, this one is, BFFs with Stalklers. The loaf! The loaf! I love this one so much because the idea of, like, that, the ears are airplaning to better hear the headphones that can't go over the ears. I love it so much. Oh, hang on a sec. Too dumb to realize the headphones won't work with the ears. They're airplaning to hear better. He uses the headphones as a speaker around his neck instead. He loaf. The gem is a ruby. The tail is meant to evoke flames, but it's actually just in need of a good brushing. I love it so much. I think it's such a good concept. It's so great because, like, the backstory is so lovely. Just put 2 and 2 together? Tail idea is 10,000 IQ, right? When I say ruby gem, I mean around the one to play around with the reds and the blues. Ooh. It kind of feels like a garnet in a way. It kind of looks like a garnet. Alluding to flame, but just being lazy and messy is such good characterization. It really is. This is like really, I feel like this is really great practice for like general the thing Bessa just said. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I think it works so well. I love characterization in various media because you can do a lot with like how you explain how something exists or works in the world. Like one of my favorite examples is in Tangled, like Disney's Rapunzel movie, right? There's a concept artist who did this piece of Rapunzel, and it shows her trying to put on pajamas, right? Something you do every single day without thinking about it. But imagine trying to put on pajamas every single night when you have Rapunzel's hair. So there's this image, there's this concept art piece of her, like, trying to pull, like, her yards and yards of hair through the neck hole of the pajamas. And it's such an interesting concept, right? Like, it's really great characterization to think about these kind of things. I'm trying to think if I have the, let me see here. Tangled concept art. I'm curious if I have it here. Because it's really good. It's just like, it just flows very nicely. It's just very well done. Trying to see if this is it. Oh, come on. I'm trying to find the one singular piece here. It doesn't want to work with me. I'm probably not going to be able to find it immediately. But it's really well done. Okay. We're not going to show it. Darn it! I don't know why this is sometimes a hard image to find. But you guys can probably understand what I'm saying, right? Like, trying to imagine, Rapunzel, like, trying to pull all the hair through pajamas. I don't know why it's such a hard piece of concept art to find sometimes. I'm getting a bunch of, like, mixed up stuff that aren't related. Is this it? No. Yeah, I can't find it right now, but you got the idea. After wasting 4 hours tinkering with the PC, I finally watched a stream on my phone. We ran into some problems and didn't finish building it. Ah, I'm sorry to hear that. Austin Fox, hello there. I'm sorry to hear that. I put another attempt in Stargazer concept and sketches. All the crosshatch stuff will be exposed fluff, and that's the most I can really do before I start effectively sabotaging myself. I don't really think you're sabotaging yourself in any way, because, like, I think every person that has a Stargazer design has made a, has made something that's just, like, an allusion to their main concept, right? I think that's the main thing, is, like, it's an allusion to your main concept. I don't think anyone's sabotaging themselves. Like, certainly Blank isn't sabotaging, or Lady Red, or anything. What if Star wasn't a fox, secretly a bunny? Had surgery and make herself look like a kitsune so she could be different from the other Stargazers. Jeez, what a thought. I love legitimizing elements in character design like that. It makes the world feel alive and lived. Yeah, 100%, exactly. Hang on a sec. The Void Gazer. We love the Void Gazer. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, like, I hope this all just, like, kind of made sense to people. Right? Does anyone have any other questions about it? About, like, the Stargazer thing in general? I'm still trying to see if there's any, like... I'm trying to see if there's any, like, concept behind the idea of horns versus ears and whatnot, but I haven't really figured out if anything makes sense for that. Crosshatch stuff would be exposed fluff? Hang on a sec here. Is there like... Okay, so... Huh. It's still like majority armor, it seems. It still seems like it's 90 or 80% armor. I feel like it's still probably a little bit much. I mean, I like the direction of it. I just think it might be a little heavy-handed in terms of the amount of armor. I think visually as a drawing, it looks very nice. Sometimes I tend to exaggerate how bad my art gets when I'm not drawing what I'm good at, but I'm not being hyperbolic. If I can't draw my Stargazer with a lot of power armor or plate armor, it'll be bad. But there's so many, like, there's a lot of other people that have done, like, very simple designs too, and I think it works. I mean, I don't think it has to be, like... I don't really know how to explain it at this point. I don't really know how to explain it. I don't think that this is a bad drawing, but I feel like it doesn't really fit, like, the general idea of the species, if that makes sense. I don't think this is a bad drawing, though. It would work well if they drew it. I cannot draw like that without it looking awful. But we have all kinds, there's all kinds of people with all kinds of skill sets here. Like, look, this is on lined paper, and it still works. This is, you know, I don't really know how to fully explain it. We've got all levels here, right? This one's done digitally. This one is done in Sketch. This one is done on lined paper. This one is done in Paint. And there's all kinds of levels, and the idea is, like, in the concept, right? And then we have, I'm always not finding it correctly here. And then we have mood boards, too. I really feel like that there's just, I don't know how else to say at this point. I think that it's a very well done drawing. but I feel that it is still very, very, very different from the average Stargazer. I think that's probably I think that's kind of all I can say at this point, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, like, there's all levels of things, really. Here's a fun fact, my Stargazer is made on the last page of my engineer's logbook. I love that. I might give up on the idea, I was mostly doing it as a joke anyway? Wait, why would it be a joke? I think I'm just a little confused. I don't really know why it would be a joke. This is like a community thing. Like, I just want to, you know, have a way for people to, like, feel like... I don't know how to... I don't know how to keep... I feel like I'm talking in circles a little bit here. But, you know, that's okay. I mean, when you get the base done, it can help some of the people more. Yeah, I'll definitely get the base done really... Like, the base, I can get that done very, very quickly. Wow, I actually clicked the right one this time. Yeah, I'll get this done in like the next day or two because this won't take me very long. I'll have this out and then we'll figure out what to do about the Discord itself. We'll figure out like, we'll figure out what to do about like channels and stuff, and I'd like your opinions on what kind of, like, I'd like your opinions on what you would like to see the evolution of Stargazers be. Because at this point, I've had so many different types of, ideas for Stargazers, and I don't really know what works the best for this community, but I want to have a way to, like, keep the Stargazer concept evolving further and further. I mean, heck, one day I even had the idea that, I would someday be able to make, like, figurines. You know, someday. It's a dream I have. But yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Expanding horizons. I think that's a very good way to put it. Give us bombs. Oh my gosh. I think there's just a lot that we can do. I just don't know what the direction is. So I'd like to hear that from you guys. And at some point I will have like a channel where we can discuss all of these things. Figurine with the actual gem embedded, and you'll send them out for free? Wow, Star's so cool, thank you. Yeah, let me just throw in some diamonds while I'm at it. Would purchase a Prism figure in a heartbeat? I think it would be really fun. Someday I want to get back into 3D. At the very least, I think it would be very cool to have, like, more integration of Stargazer forms. Fire up the 3D printer factories. I miss doing 3D stuff, honestly. But yeah, I think that's probably where we will call it here. I think we sort of exhausted everything I could describe about the species, much more than like 99.9% of VTubers would go into. So I think we're gonna wrap it up there, but thank you guys so much. I really, really love seeing these designs. I'll make this template for you guys very, very soon, so that you can go off of this if you want to, and if you always want to just draw your own, that is a-okay too. This is to help if it helps. If there's anything else that you want added to the template, just let me know, because I would be happy to add what I can within reason. Within, like, for the next day or so. But yeah, tomorrow we will probably be doing vignette reading a little bit and trying to see if we can finish Twilight of Willamond. And then I think I'm going to, I'm probably gonna repost the schedule a little bit. I won't at everyone, but I think I'm gonna repost the schedule because I think Thursday and Saturday are gonna be a little bit changed up. Because I think we all just got spooked with a bunch of new news that we weren't expecting. So, yeah, I'll have that changed, soon, probably later tonight. But yeah, thank you again, everybody. I really appreciate you guys. Definitely, if you're new here, definitely subscribe if you haven't yet. You need to add stream elements, can't shield the Discord. I know I do, you are absolutely right. I need to add back all my commands and everything. The side channel is a little bit scuffed. Real shock. But anyway, guys, thank you so much again, wherever you may be in the world or the many worlds beyond. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, evening, or night. And well, thank you so much, and all the best.